Yes. Well, the whole life that I've known you. 30 years.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm 45.
Are you? Where are your rings?
Oh,
you're so
they're all
young.
over my face. Up here.
I guess my vision must be bad because
Well,
I'm so old.
well, you're sweet.
Sorry?
I said you're sweet. I don't know, but they're there.
Just the kiss.
She just pretends she doesn't see them. It's better.
Oh my God, it's you. I love you so much. I have been wanting to get together with you and hang out and talk. But I have good days, I have bad days, but just the dumping syndrome.
Oh, no, okay.
You know the one thing?
Did you get my
No, because this stuff doesn't come.
nice, yeah,
It doesn't come off.
That's good.
I got it in red too. I couldn't make it to your event that day. I was all excited. Nail in my
I
tie.
was so. There's one on the 11th
Okay.
of April. So.
Okay. Yeah, I had a nail in my car. I'm just not feeling very lucky.
It happens. It just wasn't meant to be. You know what I mean?
But I put it on my. I told everybody. I said when we can't get together with our brothers and sisters, and who cares what their party is? Who cares?
Oh, yeah, it's
We're
not-
fighting the
it's
same
not a
thing.
political thing.
It's not a
It's
political
about
thing,
children.
and it's about the children, right? Is it? So is this?
What?
No, we were talking about the Epstein files, the children. Yeah, we all feel the same. And this woman's the one running it, and she gets attacked the most, and I don't like that.
Brother, what?
Oh,
No,
she
well,
gets attacked a lot.
It's a Save Our Children.
Yeah.
Oh.
I felt safer over here. The redhead over there isn't as nice as the redhead over here.
Some would make it.
No, I love you. Everybody's like sitting there going, Ilka, Ilka. And I go, well, you have a problem with it. You don't have to talk with me.
No, I sit there and they take I just involved you.
Oh, yeah, boss. I knew I should be. Did you guys
Again, if you are here in chambers and you are standing, please be sure to go to an overflow room. The overflow rooms are to your left outside. The fire marshal is here and is checking. So please be sure to also, if you can hear me and you are in the lobby, please be sure to clear the lobby as well and go to an overflow room. If you are in the lobby area, please be sure to clear the lobby and go to an overflow room. Thank you very much.
I just don't know.
That's not bad. I don't know what you were saying.
Like Claudia Scheinbach, Deutsche Bank. Okay, I think they're powerful.
Yeah, for sure.
Here you go. Yeah. And if somebody already turned one in, that was I didn't know that somebody's people.
No worries.
My board supervisors used to do 2 minutes and then minutes of announcing. So we would be there all morning. And now they changed in a minute. So they don't like that. I'm like, hey, you have to be down 30 seconds. It's just, yeah, I know.
You don't have to worry. I'm not full. It's definitely microdosing. I see this weight.
Is that not the most amazing? So I told Mark I didn't even though I have things to say. Because I just started the most of there should be
someone who's just like,
I know you guys can talk about it. Thank God I ran for so I called them. I don't know why they didn't let it. I mean, I didn't read it. That's what I like.
that's why I called.
Oh, you're hanging out with your. You love her. Thing to do. I mean, bring the needs to the other countries. Just a second. Just a second. To America, right? If we help you. I know. Why not use our military to build other countries so they can do it on their own? No more weapons. I can't wait to hear what you say.
Nobody's coming in. Try to get beat up.
No.
I should have heard what I said earlier. You
I'll look at the video.
It was for not
What was Tucker?
not well.
Did you read about the guy who did it? He was intending on suicide because his family just got bombed and killed in Lebanon. Now, and thank God nobody was hurt. I feel strongly about these things, but it doesn't mean I don't support any death of other people. No.
Be up here trying to make sure that everybody has a clear view to the city council. So thank you for taking those. What I think most of you are here for is actually the second item we're going to hear this afternoon. We have an important item in regard to Mario Lopez that we'll hear first.
Which I thought was nice.
Thank you.
Looking at their other than online.
Echo or Rock and Brian, please come up.
I think yours is very good.
Moreno, President, Councilmember Ela Rivera.
We welcome public participation at our city council meetings. Speakers may address the council during public comment and also in connection with a specific item of business on the agenda. However, the city must make sure that order the construction continues further. I will declare a recess so that we can restore order. At this point, I will direct the individual to leave the room, and if the individual refuses to leave, please will escort the individual out. Do not make me do that, please. If we have to resume the process of warning and recessing the meeting, all members of the public will be excused from the council chamber. Credential media will be allowed to remain. Once again, we have these practices and procedures to protect the right of remain. Once again, we have these practices and procedures to protect the rights of others who wish to address the council and to allow the council to conduct the public. You'll have to hear things you really agree with, you're going to hear things you really don't agree with. And the best way to communicate with us without disrupting the meeting or people's ability to speak is to give us a thumbs up when you hear things you agree with. And of course, a thumbs down if you hear thumbs up when you hear things you agree with. And of course, a thumbs down if you hear things that you don't agree with. It is very effective, it's very visible during the course of the meeting, and as people speak, and that way we allow everybody their opportunity to speak, and that way we allow everybody their opportunity to express their opinion.
The City Council adopted the Barrio Logan Community Plan Update in December 2021. This item aligned land uses with the general plan, addressed mobility and access to public spaces, provided design guidance for new development, and celebrated Barrio Logan's arts and culture. It also eliminated residential and industry conflicts through land use, zoning, and the transition zone. It retained the waterfront's employment role and established a village area with housing opportunities. The Barrio Logan Community Plan area is also within the coastal zone. Following the adoption of the community plan in 2021, the community plan was submitted to the California Coastal Commission for certification. In June of 2023, the California Coastal Commission conditionally certified the community plan with 53 modifications. The City Council adopted these modifications in November of the same year, and the community plan received final certification from the Coastal Commission in December 2023. The proposed actions for this item include an amendment to the Barrio Logan Community Plan that would correct land use map errors that occurred with the 2023 Community Plan Amendment, and rezones that would bring consistency between land use designations in the plan and the zones for parks. Each of these changes are technical changes only and are being brought forward to ensure alignment with the original vision of the adopted community plan. The adopted 2021 Barrio Logan Community Plan land use map identified various park land uses adjacent to Interstate 5, consistent with the Parks and Recreation Facilities map. The land use map also designated the area generally located between 32nd Street, Main Street, and Bryant Street as neighborhood village. As part of the updated Barrio Logan Community Plan, the City Council also adopted comprehensive rezone of land in the Barrio Logan Community Planning area to implement the community plan's land use designations. Was in the process of filling a property on the west 9th Street. This property was designated as a park and as a part of the Boston Avenue neighborhood park that was adopted with the plan, which the plan special zone that was applied to this property. There is a potential buyer that operates car washes. Any future commercial projects would still need to be consistent with the community plan's park land use. Because the parcel is also in the coastal zone, and require a coastal development permit. To meet the findings of a coastal development permit, an amendment to the community due to its inconsistency with the planned park use. The final settlement. However, as soon as city planning became aware of the need for these technical amendments, we began processing the action before you today to clean up the Logan 23 community plan, as shown on the left, to be the same as the land use map originally adopted in the 2021 community plan update, as shown on the right. To make the current land use map consistent with the land uses adopted as a part of the 2021 Barrio Logan community plan, the following areas will be redesignated. Between 29th Street and 32nd Street on Boston Avenue, 3 acres will be redesignated from right-of-way to park, which is consistent with the current park zone. Between Main Street and Interstate 5, 4.2 acres will be redesignated from neighborhood commercial to park, which is consistent with the current park zone. Lastly, between 32nd Street, Main Street, and Interstate 5, 4.7 acres will be redesignated from neighborhood commercial to neighborhood village, allowing for potential future residential development. This change is consistent with the current neighborhood commercial zone. The proposed rezones would bring consistency between the park land use designation and the base zones of parks identified in the community plan land use map and the Parks and Recreation Facilities map. Chicano Park and a portion of the Boston Avenue Linear Park would be rezoned to park zones to be consistent with the existing and planned park uses. Open space park zones are applied to active public parks. The proposed change would rezone 13.8 acres of Chicano Park and the adjacent street from community commercial to park, and rezone 1.8 acres of Chicano Park from office commercial to park. The land is owned by the city and Caltrans. The proposed rezone would not change the boundaries of Chicano Park, nor would it affect any existing portion of Boston Avenue Linear Park designated as a part of the community plan from the community commercial to park zone. This land is owned by Caltrans. This item was presented to the Barrio Logan Community Planning Group on February 18, 2026, and was recommended for approval to the council by a vote of 8 yeses, no nos, and 1 abstention. The planning group recommended that staff meet with the Chicano Park Steering Committee prior to the council hearing. Staff was unable to meet prior to today's hearing. The Chicano Park Steering Committee members have stated their concern that the rezone for the Chicano Park was not presented to the committee for their recommendation and concerned that the rezone would reduce the boundaries of the park. Staff has verified that the boundaries of the park would remain unchanged. On February 19, 2026, this item was presented to the Planning Commission, who recommended the community plan amendments and rezone for approval by a vote of 4 yes, no nos, and no abstentions with 1 recusal. The community plan amendments and rezone are consistent with the 2021 addendum to the Barrio Logan Community Plan Update Program EIR, or Environmental Impact Report. The community plan amendment reflects what was analyzed in the 2021 addendum to the Barrio Logan Community Plan Update DEIR. Thus, the amendment would not result in new impacts or changes to circumstances that would require a subsequent or a new EIR. Additionally, there is no new information available that was not part of the environmental document and or considered with the subsequent review of this amendment, which identifies new significant effects not addressed in the previous document or substantial increases in the severity of the previously identified effects. Staff recommends to the City Council approve the resolution amending the Barrio Logan Community Plan, General Plan, and Local Coastal Program, and approve the ordinance rezoning 1.8 acres from Community Commercial 2-3 to Open Space Park 1-1, 13.8 acres from Commercial Community 3-6 to Open Space 1-1, and 1.8 acres from Commercial Office 2-2 to Open Space 1-1 within the Barrio Logan Community Planning Area. Available for questions.
All right, thank you for the good work to bring this forward in the presentation. Proceed with public.
Thank you, Council President. I'll start with those that are here in chambers. It does look like we'll go to a minute and a half on this item. So allegedly, Audra, if you can please come forward. After Audra, we have Ernesto Castañeda. If you can please come forward to the yellow room. Marco Espinosa. Please proceed.
Yes, I think that we need to be honest with people as to why you guys are rezoning all of these things and why you're implementing all of these type of changes, because this comes down from a globalist agenda, the United Nations, and them implementing things like 15-minute cities. And I think that when you guys don't acknowledge that, because the idea is to control people's movements, where we can go, you call them complete communities, but there is a control happening of all of our resources, and you guys are giving people, again, pure water, which is sewer water, because you're acting like we don't have enough water to give people. And so when you guys are implementing these things and changing this to add parks or whatever, I mean, you talk about air quality, why would you put that by the freeway? If there's pollution that's coming from that, is that safe for the children to be inhaling those types of fumes? And everything you guys do with environmental reviews, it makes everything take a very long time. And if we really cared about getting people into housing, we would get them into it. We wouldn't, blame things on the federal government as to why you guys aren't doing your job. But I think that you need to be honest with people about the United Nations Agenda 21, which you guys can go and educate yourselves on if you're not. But that's what you guys are pushing. And it's very detrimental to the people, and I think that people need to understand what's really happening, and you guys aren't transparent.
Concluding statement. Next is Ernesto Castañeda.
Got a lot in there.
Hi, good afternoon, Council. My name is Ernesto Castañeda. I am a field representative with the Office of Assessment Member David Alvarez. I'm here today on behalf Senator Alvarez to express a strong support to the proposed Barrio Logan Community Plan amendment and rezone before you. This item is a critical step in correcting land use and zoning 23 update and in restoring consistency with the community plan that this council adopted regarding the proposed sale of the Caltrans owned property. It seems I'm going to run out of time, but I respectfully urge support for this item.
What park-like items to be there.
Upon discovering the zoning errors upon Chicano Park, then Chicano Park at the Bay, also known as West Chavez Park, on Boston Avenue, at Chicano Park or Boston Avenue was ever sold for polluting use. These changes codify the community's vision for our neighborhood forever. So please vote yes today on this item and protect Barrio Logan for the next 7 generations. Thank you.
For at least allowing a minute 30 public comment. Definitely better than 1 minute. Thank you for the words of the previous public speaker in 2023. These are addressed it and make it a more accessible subject. And to quickly offer in the incredible importance this park can offer ourselves for the future. Public practices focus is really tech accountability for the issues of the park and
A 5-minute timer here in Barrio Logan amendment. A 5-minute timer here in Barrio Logan amendment. Barrio Logan amendment. Sorry, this is not the item that I was. Item that I was. An amendment 4223, please unmute. 223, please unmute. I can't unmute for you. I will have to move on. Good afternoon, council members. My name is Amy Gazzaniega, and good afternoon, council members. My name is Amy Gazzaniega, and I'm the Associate Director of Policy with the Environmental Health. To update the Barrio Logan Community Plan, which at the time was one of the oldest community plans in the city. Through extensive community engagement, we're able to reimagine what a healthy and thriving Barrio Logan can become. By increasing green space, establishing a designated truck route, and increasing affordable housing. And while the plan was put on you until it was officially updated back in 2021. Today's action will ensure that the zoning is to protect the health and well-being of Barrio Logan residents. Thank you. Thank you. Sam Valera, if you can please unmute. After that is Elizabeth Valera.
Yeah, good afternoon. So, with the women and already
Is the user, if you can please unmute.
Thanks for taking my call, Hector here. Barrio Logan, since I put it on this rooftop in our communities. We should have deed all the city land there on land use. Barrio Logan there determines what goes on in their neighborhoods. It's only life's not there, but
the Port of San Diego. And this is not by chance. This is by design. You allowed incompatible zone the cost with their help because you gave it to them, but because they refused to be ignored. That should tell you everything. This community has been patient and has been resilient, but it should not have to fight this hard just to breathe clean air and live with safe conditions.
Increasing
significant neighborhoods in the city of San Diego. Its vibrant murals, rich culinary traditions, and long history of complex of systematic redlining and discriminatory zoning finally updated and adopted. It took a very long time and required significant work and collaboration from the community, the city, and also the Coastal Commission. The process included extensive reviews and ultimately was approved by the Coastal Commission, which also required the city to go back and address and adjust more than 100 different items. Because of the long and careful process it took to get this plan approved, it is so concerning and frustrating when errors like this keep occurring. It's unacceptable that the city has allowed zoning errors like this, like those associated with footnote 7, the City Land Development Code, and now taken together, these issues point to a broader pattern of mistakes that should not be happening in decisions that have such a significant distrustful of government. While these mistakes were not done on purpose, it sows community mistrust. It's important that the zoning and land use designations accurately reflect what was approved. This is especially important given the long history that have strained trust between community and the city. Here is that the city didn't ignore the issue. Instead, staff moved quickly. This rezoning, one of the questions I have for staff is...
My hope is that within the next 6 months.
I do appreciate staff's responsiveness, their vision that was approved by and for the Barrio Logan community. Now with that, I'm
asked and answered. That Councilmember Moore is protected, and this helps advance the Barrio Logan community plan. Is protected, and this helps advance the Barrio Logan community plan. Happy to second motion. Thank you.
All right, thank you, council members. Will we now please call the roll?
I'm sorry, the voice says so. Please cast your vote. The 8-0 count.
Applies to not only council chambers, but also the committee room and any overflow room that we fashion, even disagreement between two sides, we can get through this. We have at least and of course we do expect some participation. We'll have you meeting the whole and their deliberation going forward. So with that, this item was brought forward by Councilmember Whipper in District 3. So Councilmember Whipper will give you an opportunity for opening remarks, and then we'll go to staff for the presentation.
Thank you, Council President. This is a resolution recognizing the rise of anti-Semitism, affirming the City of San Diego's commitment to combating hate and discrimination, and adopting the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance's working definition of anti-Semitism. Before I turn it over to Ryan Darcy and my staff to provide a presentation on this, I'd like to offer a few acknowledgments. I want to thank the San Diego Anti-Semitism Task Force for meeting with me about the rise in anti-Semitism and the importance of this action to many in the Jewish community. I want to thank the City of San Diego Human Relations Commission for considering this and forwarding a request to the City Council that we adopt this resolution. I want to thank Ryan Darcy, my Deputy Chief of Staff, for all of his work in bringing this forward. And I want to thank all of you here today for joining us online, for taking the time to be a part of today's discussion. And with those acknowledgments, I'll turn it over to Ryan.
All right, Ryan, please introduce yourself for the record and let us know what comments you need for the presentation. Can you repeat and turn the mic on?
Gary. Brian Darcy, Deputy Chief of Staff for Councilmember Stephen Whitburn. I'll need about 10 minutes. All right, good afternoon, Council President, members of the City Council. Thank you for the opportunity to present today. I'm here on behalf of Councilmember Whitburn regarding item S500, a resolution of the Council of the City of San Diego recognizing the rise of anti-Semitism, affirming the city's commitment to combating hate and discrimination, and adopting the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance's working definition of anti-Semitism. This issue first came before the city through the San Diego Human Relations Commission. In May of 2025, the commission voted unanimously to urge the city of San Diego to adopt the IHRA working definition of anti-Semitism. Following that vote, the commission formally sent a letter to the mayor and city council recommending adoption. The chair of the Human Relations Commission at the time, Nicole Murray Ramirez, also spoke before the city council in December of last year, encouraging the city to take this step. So what is IHRA? The International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance, or IHRA, is an intergovernmental organization dedicated to the Holocaust education, historical research, and remembrance. Its work focuses on preserving the historical record of the Holocaust and combating modern anti-Semitism around the world. IHRA provides a forum of governments, scholars, and experts to develop tools to best practices in recognizing and addressing anti-Semitism in modern society. In the IHRA working definition. In May of 2016, IHRA member states adopted what is known as the IHRA working definition of anti-Semitism. The definition states anti-Semitism is a certain perception of Jews which may be expressed as hatred towards Jews. It also clarifies that anti-Semitism can manifest through rhetoric or physical acts directed at Jewish individuals, Jewish institutions, or Jewish community spaces. Importantly, the definition is a non-legally binding and is intended primarily as an educational and analytical tool to help institutions better recognize anti-Semitism. This next 5 key points, I would like to be explicitly clear. One of the most important points is to clarify is that the IHRA definition does not restrict free speech. The resolution explicitly states in it is intended to limit or infringe upon the rights protected by the United States Constitution or that of the California Constitution, including the freedom of speech and expression. Additionally, the IHRA definition itself clearly states that criticism of Israel, similar to that leveled against any other country, cannot be regarded as anti-Semitic. This definition is simply a tool to help identify anti-Semitism. These incidents do not only harm the Jewish community, they threaten public safety, civil rights, and the social cohesion of our communities. The data. The data reflects the seriousness of the problem. Across the United States, anti-Semitic incidents have increased dramatically over the last decade, rising by nearly 900%. Across the United States, here in San Diego, anti-Semitic incidents increased 27.5% between 2020, increased by approximately 150% from 2024, and that anti-Semitism. Cities. Major U.S. cities have adopted the IHRA working definition. These include cities such as Chicago, which passed this unanimously in January, Los Angeles, which passed this unanimously, Washington, D.C., El Paso, Las Vegas, and here locally in San Diego County, other cities have also taken this step. The city of El Cajon adopted the IHRA definition unanimously in a 5-0 vote. The city of Chula Vista also definition in a 5-0 vote on May 13, 2025. San Diego would be joining other cities in our own region that are already using this definition as a tool to recognize and address anti-Semitism. The proposed action before you today is to adopt a resolution of the Council of the City of San Diego recognizing the rise of anti-Semitism, affirming the city's commitment to combating hate and discrimination, and adopting the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance's working definition of anti-Semitism. This action will provide a clear framework to recognize anti-Semitism, support education and awareness, and affirm the city's commitment to combating hate, and stand in solidarity with our Jewish community. And with that, I'm happy to take any questions from the council. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Councilmember Whitburn, for introducing this item, Mr. Darcy, for your work and the presentation. We are now going to move to public comment. If you ever want to see a ballet of how to manage public comment, then see it with our city clerk. Have a lot of patience with her as she tries to figure out when you seated time, shared time, when she calls your name or even just pronounces your name. Occasionally, she's going to do a better job, have patience, and work with her. And then as a third and final reminder, again, civility is really the key for this conversation. We want to hear from both sides, whatever your opinion is. Please respect those who may have a different opinion from you. We want to keep this a civil conversation, and let's get started. So with that, clerk, please proceed with public comment.
Thank you, Council President, and thank you for the introduction. I hope I serve you all well today. I will just note that we do have over 27 speakers in the raise their hand. If you don't hear your name called, for you to be heard and give that person their time allocation. Thank you for all this. Nicole Marie Ramirez, after you, Papa Molly, please raise your hand. Thank you. And Julia Lando. Julia Lando, thank you so much.
I made a motion that the Human Relations Commission urge an alcohol to adopt the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance definition of anti-Semitism. This motion, before we send our recommendation to Pacific Islander community, Muslim and Jewish, and my Latino and LGBT community. But I say to you that never have I witnessed the growing hate and attacks these last decades on the Jewish community. Such hate not seen since the Holocaust. Recent federal statistics now show that the Jewish community suffers 10 times more hate crimes than any other community in our nation. Think about it. 10 times more hate than any other community. In San Diego, Jewish houses of worship, student centers, rabbis, neighborhoods, community centers are being attacked and subject to hate. In closing, I stand before you as other Christians are able to wear this cross around our necks, openly, freely, and I so wish each of you would have been with me and looked into the faces of Jewish youth and students as I have, who told me they were now afraid to wear their stars of David because of the hate they have been subjected to. I will never ever forget a 17-year-old Jewish student named Josh, who told me his grandmother, a survivor of the Holocaust, so afraid for the safety of her grandson, she begged him not to wear the Star of David. She had given him long ago in public, and even urged him to now mispronounce his last name differently when he was in public. She was so afraid and worried for him. Indeed, what kind of nation have we become? Today, by voting yes, you will be sending a message to Josh, his grandmother, and the Jewish community. Our city sees them, hears them, and we stand against the rising of hate crimes against the Jewish people. Thank you.
Applause too. That is not equitable.
You've been warned. Nicole,
I don't really care.
You were the chair of the HRC, and that's why I had you come speak first. Please do not engage in applause. Thumbs up. It's very powerful.
Shay Ellis, Leslie Zemmer, Romy Zemmer, and Janet Klein. If you can please all come up to your hand. Thank you. You'll have 2 minutes. Alberto, please come up to the microphone.
This rule will say that the IRA definition goes against the First Amendment. But does it? And that may make some people uncomfortable. Anti-Semitic speech is still protected speech. If this council adopts the IRA definition, it won't stop anyone from baby killers. It won't stop anyone from saying that we control the bank.
That's true.
What it will do is label what you're doing. It will give you a name. It will hold a mirror to your face. And it will show you, and it will tell you, and that label will be that you are an anti-Semite. So criticize us all you want, slander us all you want, hate us all you want. Your hate speech will still be protected speech. But don't hide from the truth and what you are. I urge this council to adopt the resolution and let people look in that mirror. Thank you.
Laura Stone, you have time stated to you by Shira Schaefer. Shira, please raise your hand. Thank you. You'll have to.
Whitburn for sponsoring today's very important IHRA vote. Jewish Voice for Peace, JVP, is here today, but I want to stress that they do not represent the organizations and community members reject entirely. You've all received an extensive legally backed dossier on JVP, but in case you haven't had a chance to read the Liberation of Palestine, which is designated as a terrorist organization by the United States. Movement and organization whose Palestinian Islamic Jihad. JVP supported the Great March of various Jewish events. I urge the Council to consider what their true agenda is and to make a note that they do not represent the wider Jewish community, despite their deceiving name. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next we have Shay Ellis. Shay Ellis, you have people seating you time. Please raise your hand. Dan Bath. Anita Schmickhouse, please. Thank you. Isaac. And Jillian Argoff Tresser. Thank you. You'll have 5 minutes. Please proceed.
Good afternoon, City Council members. Thank you to Councilmember Whitburn for bringing this item forward. My name is Shay Ellis, and I am the Regional Coordinator for ADL, the Anti-Defamation League of San Diego. I am also a resident of District 1. I am here today in support of item 500, and we urge the Council to vote yes on adopting the IHRA definition. Across the country, ADL has recorded skyrocketing levels of anti-Semitic incidents since 10/7, including a 286% increase in San Diego since 2022. This demands action, and the IHRA definition is a tool that can help our community address this moment. Anti-Semitism doesn't disappear, it evolves. Over the years, it has targeted Jews under the guise of being anti-communist, anti-globalist, or the villains in a number of different movements. Today, that language has evolved to focus on anti-Zionism. We hear the stories of San Diego college students who are ostracized for their Jewish identity, but told it's only because they're Zionists. The K-12 students who are bullied for being quote-unquote baby killers. And the employees of San Diego businesses and organizations who have to pursue legal action to rectify the anti-Semitic harassment and discrimination they encounter. We cannot are only treated with dignity and respect if they denounce their support for the right of Israel to exist, which is something that over 90% it does exist. Even though the current language that targets Jews claims to be only anti-Zionism, it leads to the same outcomes that anti-Semitism always has. Harassment, discrimination. Our definition is a crucial tool that helps governments, universities, NGOs, and other groups understand all of the complex elements of anti-Semitism that target people for different aspects in cities like Los Angeles, Chicago, and Miami, in creating a city government that stands for the safety.
Thank you so much, City Councilman Whitburn. My name is Leslie Zimmer. I live in District 1. I'm asking you to adopt IRA and attempt to distract from IRA, anti-Semite advocate for what is called the Jerusalem Declaration on Anti-Semitism. The Jerusalem Declaration was written by a self-selected. The authors and signatories represent their own academic perspectives, not the views of Jewish communities, voters, or institutions that are accountable to the public. The authors of the Jerusalem Declaration describe its purpose to contribute to academic discussion, and unlike IRA, it has zero adoption by governments, schools, or other public institutions. By contrast, the IRA working definition of anti-Semitism has been adopted by national governments, states, cities, universities, and other public institutions around the world. IRA has been endorsed by all Jewish communal organizations, as the IRA definition functions as a widely adopted public policy framework. Those who were asked...
Thank you for that concluding remark.
Romy? Vote yes.
Good afternoon. My name is Romy Zimmer. I'm 17 years old and this is my first council meeting. In Canada, synagogues were hit by gunfire. In the Netherlands, men were arrested for... Zionism means Jewish people have the right to self-determination in our ancestral homeland. I'm a proud Zionist. I'm afraid to display their Jewishness for Zionism. Today, you have the power to help make that future real. Please vote yes for
Andrew Bamsky and Cantor Coordinate, as well as Liza Tacker. If you can all please come up to the yellow reserve seats. Please proceed.
President LaCava, members of the San Diego City Council, my name is George Marks. I serve as your San Diego County Assessor of Court County Clerk. But I'm here today as my capacity as a San Diego City resident, a parent, and a proud member of the Jewish community. I strongly ask for your support of item S500, the adoption of the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance definition of anti-Semitism. I want to thank the San Diego Human Relations Commission and Chair Nicole Berger-Jimenez for this unanimous support moving this forward to City Council, and especially Councilman Stephen Whitburn for your leadership bringing this item forward today. Across the region, we've already seen cities like Chula Vista and El Cajon pass this definition, because too often acts of hate, when we see them happen, we see elected officials post their thoughts and prayers. But in San Diego County, we've experienced real consequences, violence like in the Poway synagogue shooting, the SDSU synagogue attack, hateful anti-Semitic flyers in our neighborhoods and swastikas that facing our community spaces. As a parent, I can tell you, Jewish families are living this reality every day. We drop off our children at schools, community centers, behind gates, armed guards, and they are targeted.
Thank you for that concluding comment. Janet Klein.
Thank you for your action today. The resolution is not symbolic. It shows that you stand in solidarity against hate. It's a necessary step to equip our city, our law enforcement, and community with a clear understanding of anti-Semitism so we can identify it, confront it, and stop it. This is a moment for action, not just words. Thank you for voting yes on today's item and for standing with the Jewish community. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you.
To confirm, were you Janet Klein?
Yeah, I was.
You're Janet Klein, though. Thank you. Next is Nicole Bernstein. Nicole, you have time ceded to you by Jan Sobrano-Wolford. If you can please raise your hand. You'll have 2 minutes. Please proceed.
אני כל כך מצטערת שזה קרה לבת שלכם בכיתה, ואני מבטיחה לעזור. Translation. I am so sorry that happened to your daughter in class, and I promise to help. That's what I told the parents of a 9th grade girl who's been bullied at school multiple times simply for being Jewish. My name is Nicole Bernstein, and I'm a San Diego resident, the daughter of Israeli immigrants, in the United States, and continue the conversation in Hebrew. One woman even circled back twice, just to make it not disruptive. I was simply speaking in my mother's tongue, Hebrew. That should not be tolerated. From classrooms to restaurants to grocery stores, Jews are being targeted simply for daring to exist in public. That cannot be tolerated. Every language has the right to exist. Today, in America's finest,
Commissioner with the California Commission on State of Hate, speaking on my own behalf as a member of the Jewish community who has been doxxed and harassed for assumptions about our assumed connection to Israel. That tens of millions of Christians, we need the strongest definition of anti-Semitism possible in this resolution which you said need. Thank you.
Thank you. Council members, my name is Andrew Larry Cornett. For those of you who are the rabbis think they can sing. I'm actually here today to talk to you about the IHRA definition. When I was in college, the first thing that I learned from a philosophy professor, excuse me, I'm sorry, is define your terms. Why is that important? You cannot have an intelligent conversation with somebody if you are not speaking with the correct terms and both are shared. If you to not play whack-a-mole and actually have a definition that you can use, pattern your ideas and importance on. Thank you, Councilman Whitburn, for presenting this. I appreciate it. Please vote yes on IHRA.
Liza Tucker.
I will vote today. My name is Liza Thatcher. 100 constitutional and does not infringe on one's right to free speech. But San Diego is not on this list. Today is the day. San Diego, being the sister city of Beverly Hills, El Cajon, LA, Chula Vista, Miami, West Palm Beach, Hialeah, Surfside, Juno Beach, Golden Beach, Bay Harbor Islands, Key Biscayne, Jupiter Until Colony, Forest Park, Lincoln. Thank you.
Josh Bader, I teach at UC National University. Close range to my head because I killed Jesus. I became a Navy doctor, served through the First Gulf War, and now I lead the American Academy of Child and Adolescent helping all children impacted by conflict and hate. Forward. My life is about protecting children. Every child win. This IRA resolution will help. Thank you.
Rabbi Scott Meltzer. Rabbi, you have time stated by Jacob Shore. If you can please raise your hand.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilmember Whitburn, for bringing this resolution. Thank you to your staff for an outstanding presentation. Thank you to the entire council. My name is Scott Meltzer. I am the Rabbi of worship. I'd like to publicly acknowledge and thank President Del Torre for her national universities, something that tragically is not common around the country. I also apologize if I look at this because the new norm in Jewish conferences is please don't post anything geographically identifiable until after the conference for fear of anti-Semitism, heckling, harassment, and violence. I've been to 2 conferences this year, and that's been a policy for both of them. Again, the new norm in the Jewish community. You want to talk about challenges to free speech. I have congregants. They don't come for services, they don't come for social events, they don't come for classes because they are afraid of the anti-Semitism in this America's finest city. And you have the opportunity today to say to them, to all Jews in the city, and to everybody in the city, Some will argue that anti-Israel can never be anti-Semitic. They are wrong. Anti-Israel rhetoric is sometimes a discourse of criticism, and sometimes it crosses a line that is vandalism is a crime. When my synagogue is targeted and vandalized, firing a gun, synagogue, that is anti-Semitic. To the contrary, is wrong. Thank you very much.
Bernard F., if you can please come up to the podium, and if I can have all the individuals please come up to the front row. Shelley Bevell, Stacy Bresler Ringstein, Wendy Batterson, Kayla Gloverson, Amy Weisbaum, Adam Moslia. If you can all please come up to the front row. And Bernard, you can come up to the microphone.
Thank you, Council. My name is Lawrence Briggs. I'm a native San Diegan. I live in District 1. Thank you for bringing this up. I'm going to speak on the behalf of the Gentile population. I am not Jewish, but I stand with the Jews as a Gentile. And the fact that we're even having to have this as a vote is probably the most concerning thing. But I personally, as you each one personally have to do, be courageous, take a stand up for people's rights, speak up for those people who have more crime against them than any other group. Please support this adoption and let this just be the beginning of a change within us to be able to bring shalom to our community. Thank you. Amen.
Shelley?
Shalom's always been in
Good afternoon, council members. Good to see you again, and thank you so much to Councilmember Whitburn. I'm in District 5 in Rancho Penasquitos, and I'm a member of Stand With Us. Thank you for your time today, and especially this narrator has been quoted describing homosexuality as, quote, evil inclination. Additionally, Nora Salash, CARE's Director of Government Affairs, has been recorded making deeply offensive remarks, including
University City. This is 7/10 of a mile from my home. On these papers are written sayings such as, "The chosen people were chosen by Hitler," and "Thank Hitler with a heart and a swastika." Here's that an individual who is filled with hatred.
Hello. My name is Wendy Batterson, and I have been a resident of San Diego for over 17 years. I am here today to urge you to vote yes on San Diego adopting the IHRA definition of anti-Semitism. This definition provides a clear framework to identify anti-Semitic harassment, threats, or attacks on Jewish people's right to exist freely and live safely. I'm speaking as the granddaughter of Jewish immigrants who fled anti-Semitism and violence in Turkey during World War I, believing they would finally be safe in the United States. Yet just a generation later, anti-Semitism is rising again, even here in America's finest city. I have personally experienced a bomb scare, threatening hate speech, and witnessed numerous targeted attacks on our Jewish spaces and symbols. Today, when I attend Jewish community events in San Diego, they require high-level security measures because hate rhetoric too often leads to violence. Officials and community leaders often say they are horrified after anti-Semitic attacks, but being horrified after a tragedy is not enough. We often say that none of us are free until we are all free, so it should not become controversial to say that San Diego's Jewish residents deserve the same protection from incitement and expects and fights for. San Diego is doing meaningful justice work for many communities. I have stood on the front lines together with many of this issue, but I have stood with you for immigrants' rights, fighting against family separation. I could go on and on. The community must not be left behind. We need effective safeguards and hate from.
Sheila, you have time to get to you by Janice Casal. Thank you so much.
Wrong. That definition, others or holding Jews collectively responsible for actions of a foreign government is anti-Semitic. IRA helps clarify that distinction. With anti-Semitic.
Good afternoon, council members. My name is Amy Weisbaum, and I live in District 3. Councilmember Whitburn, thank you so much for sponsoring today's
Back to your seats where you were originally. Debbie Bank, Tom Hanukkah, and Julie Sarantino, as well as Jonas McClanahan. If you can please come up. Adam, please proceed.
Good afternoon, Council. Coalition of 47 local San Diego Jewish organizations working together to confront anti-Semitism. The broad spectrum of San Diego's organized Jewish community. As a coalition, we ourselves adhere to the in responding to incidents affecting our youth today. Jewish communities are diverse, and debate is a truth. It is important to understand that those views do not organizations that urge the council to listen.
Resolution. Who is behind the emails you received against IRA, and who rallied these opponents of IRA in this meeting? One organization is called CARE, including their support for international terrorism, their undisclosed foreign government. Your CARE leadership solicitation. Zahar Gil, CARE Executive Director on October 7, 2023, the day when Jews were slaughtered by Hamas, raped and burned Jews. Siding with IRA opposition is siding with bigotry and hate. Please adopt IRA. Also, all the organizations that support us is Jewish Federation of San Diego, Hillel San Diego, American Jewish Community, ADL.
Thank you, my apologies. Council members. My name is Tal Hanukkah. I'm a San Diego resident from District 1, and I'm a Jewish mother raising October 7th. I was putting my young children into the car in a shopping mall. Racism is not abstract or deep, and criticism are a normal part of democratic. Criticizing a government and targeting Jews.
F-E-N-G-D-U. Feingold? Feingold. Oh, my apologies. Yeah.
But yeah, no, we all know what anti-Semitism is, and this isn't actually going to stop it, but it's a culture. We all know that we can't call little people N-words or black people N-words or retarded, whatever. The point is language evolves. And, you know, for me, I was at the market the other day and somebody just honked their horn and said, fuck Israel, which it would have been better if they just called me a Jew, but it's evolving. So this is actually about just protecting children by creating a culture where it's not okay to go after somebody just for being of a certain religion or, you know, whatever they were.
Thank you so much. You'll have 2 minutes. Please proceed.
Hello, and thank you for allowing me to speak here today. My name is John Sorrentino. I'm the pastor of New Covenant Tabernacle, an anti-Semite of Paradise Hills, Skyline, Alta Vista, Palm Springs will be cursed. And most of the Jewish community is our neighbor. Sadly, because of this position, our church has experienced all kinds of anti-Semitism. Our youth have been bullied, threatened, and even attacked at their schools. Our church has been forced to use armed security, and many of our members now legally carry firearms to protect themselves and their families at church because of the threats we've encountered. The IHRA definition of anti-Semitism would give authorities a foundation to identify and deal with this form of prejudice. These horrific events that happened in those places did not begin with bullets and bombs, but with words, lies, and threats. Words that definition of anti-Semitism. Speak hate from behind a keyboard or yelling threats through a bullhorn. Be identified with their words. So today I ask you on a daily basis that you vote yes and adopt the IHRA definition of anti-Semitism.
To clarify, or to clearly identify and confront anti-Semitism. This is not theoretical for us. This is only hate speech online because
Jade Osley or John Osley and Leah Kay, if you can all please come forward to.
Whitman, he's my sponsor then. I mean, word by word doesn't work. Why waste my time and yours? So
Shut up. Shut up.
everything is planned, everything I see is done, finished.
Very definition of anti-Semitism. But do we need a special law in this country? State which criticizes the actions of the Israeli state is not anti-Semitic. When we conduct wars of choice which devastate...
We'll speak, we'll get through this, and then we'll turn it over to council members, whether you agree or disagree with this. Let's keep it civil. I know that can be painful given what some of you have experienced, but bear with us here in council chambers and in the committee room in the overflow. Thank you.
David Rodstein, please come up.
Thank you, Council. My name is David Rodstein. I'm an attorney of about 15 years. I've worked for two stations. One is okay, one is two. Also have a civil rights obligation to ensure access based on the IHRA definition. You are able to criticize a different. One last question. Why not listen to the Jewish community on what
Manuel Beltran?
Meeting with us today, I'm confident I can tell you I see anti-Semitism rise down there. I see that I, for one, I don't stand with it, and I was from May 9th, 1945 to recently in Temple, some criticism of Israel. This is about defending Jewish people, the Jewish community. We're standing with them because we seek justice, and we will consistently seek justice regardless of the consequences.
Republicans, that's right.
Hello, my name is Sarah Lily Feldman, and I wrote a speech. Anti-Semitic tokens that were used against us about how we're all to accuse to beyond, and I know why this is going when the Jews are accused in those tokens. I cannot believe the things that I'm hearing in 2026 in America. I have 20 more seconds, so I'll just share a few of my incidents in the past 6 years living in San Diego. I was in Pacific Beach, in Ocean Beach. I was asked, oh, are you a Jew? I didn't know we have those here. We're just from New York. We're overwhelmed with Jews.
So my name is John Osley. Ironically, I also had another speech prepared, but with Israel will not be considered. The IHRA website look like media, school, taking into account overall context include, but are not limited to, applying double standards by requiring it of it behavior. Second, drawing comparisons of contemporary. So, in that presentation, it said that criticism of Israel is not considered anti-Semitism, but on the IRA site I just read, it is one of, there are two, actually 3 examples, I only included 2, of examples where criticizing Israel is anti-Semitism, which is the truth. Thank you.
Next is Leah Kay. Leah Kay, if you can please come forward and no Leah Kohler or Leah? Okay. Okay. Tarek Ashford. Can you go to the taller mic right there?
I have been mourning for over 45 years of my life, even before becoming a naturalized American, for my oldest Semitic Israelite family, who we have all the faiths in them. I have recently learned 400 of my own family's relatives have been killed and murdered by the American Israeli machine. You can take my rights away from me here in America, but our family is internationally recognized globally in the United Nations. Thank you.
Next is Angel Martinez.
Hello, my name is Angel Martinez. I'm a student here at San Diego City College. I was fortunate to be born and raised here, and I believe strongly that we have a responsibility as a city to ensure our Jewish community is safe. However, I oppose the adoption of the IHRA definition of anti-Semitism. For the flaw is that it blurs the lines between criticism of the Israeli government and hate speech against Jewish people. The definition takes away advocacy for Palestinians suffering from genocide defined by the United Nations. Justice for all means we don't leave anyone out. So I'm calling for a more inclusive definition, and I hope you all know I am not against you. We are all fighting the same fight. Thank you so much for your time. That's all for me.
Daniel Nasira.
Hi guys, I'm Daniel Messina, and like Angel, I am also a city at City College. Just to clarify, no one in this room condones anti-Semitism. However, it is not anti-Semitic to criticize a hypocritical ethno-state who is committing nationally recognized as a genocide by the United Nations. And I argue that committing a genocide under Jewish safety is anti-Semitism, because people would which is utterly false, as there are Jews who are against the ongoing genocide in Gaza. I oppose this resolution as 500 and free Palestine. Thank you.
Juan Perez, if you can please come up. If you've already spoken, please return to your seats, and if I can have Mona, Sarami Espiritu, Athena, Adler, Marcia, Bookstein, Marco, Guajardo, please all come forward to the other reserved seats. Please proceed.
Hello everyone, my name is Juan Perez. I am a union organizer, a Marine Corps veteran, and a concerned San Diegan. I'm concerned because you all are about to vote on something that will infringe on our First Amendment right, which I have to go twice to the Middle East to defend. Twice I've been away from my family and friends, missed birthdays, holidays, and normal life in order to protect these rights. All to come home to my hometown of San Diego for you all to take it away from us. It is not just a right that many of in order to fight corporate greed and to call out fights and fight fascism. Sound familiar? Last year in August, the Labor Council voted unanimously on a Gaza resolution which calls what Israel is doing a genocide. It labels Israel
Here to include is Meshdan Asha. Meshdan, I'm just going to ask, is there any other measure
regarding for our basic First Amendment rights? Artists, entrepreneurs, teachers, doctors, scientists, nurses, students, organizers, researchers, laborers. What happened to the First Amendment? We deserve to have a part of this place. We need to be able to protect that.
Mona?
Good afternoon, City Council members. I'm here as a Nakba survivor. My grandmother was born in 1938 in occupied Palestine. At the time, it was unoccupied. So I'm sitting in the back having an anxiety attack because there's an Israeli flag right next to me, representing the entity that took my family, my mother, my homeland, and has prevented me from ever returning. The IRHA definition has been said to be an educational tool. It is an educational tool, and it will be used as an educator, I know, to limit free speech. Many of the examples for IRHA definition shield Israel from accountability. This is not neutral. It will be used to control and limit narratives, and as an educator, I know exactly how that goes. We are seeing it in education. Trump's educational restrictions are real. Please do not do the same thing.
Athena? Athena, you have time to speak by Colleen Ditzel. Please raise your hand, Colleen. Thank you so much. You have 2 minutes. Please proceed.
I'm going to ask for a bit of audience participation here. I'm going to read 6 quotes, and if any of them sound like something an Nazi would say, then raise your hand and keep it raised, our council members included. I apologize in advance for having to read these disgusting quotes, but it seems to be the only way to communicate my points. Quote, "Those are animals. They have no right to exist. I am not debating the way it will happen, but they need to be exterminated." Quote, "The weak crumble, are slaughtered." Quote, "Even the entire Palestinian people is the enemy." End quote. Again, raise your hand if any of those sound like Nazi. At some point, almost everyone agrees that this is Nazi nonsense, as do I. Each and every one of these quotes from the upper echelons of Israeli society, prime ministers, ministers of education. This definition is carefully crafted to silence any criticism of Israeli policy, and one that allows actual hatred to go unchallenged. So every single person who raised their hand at any point is an anti-Semite under this definition. Criticizing the mass slaughter of civilians is not anti-Semitic, and I hope our city council will agree with me and vote.
Marcia? After that is Marco Guajardo, Paulette David, Tarek R, Daniel David R, Daniel David Langstein, and Vicky Estella. If you can all please come forward.
Mike? I'm not used to speaking in public. I'm used to playing my cello in public. I have knocked on doors for a number of you to get you elected. In 1975, I auditioned for the Jerusalem Symphony, and I played there for 10 months. In that time, I toured the Sinai Desert, and I went to Gaza, which is my idea of heaven, with those ancient date palm trees right on the ocean's edge. I am horrified at what Israel is doing now. This is not the Israel I visited in 1975 and 76. This is a different Israel that thinks it's okay to murder people. If you haven't heard of Lavender or Where's Daddy, then you don't know what's going on there. They're targeting poets.
I am appalled, and I'm not an anti-Semite, as far as I know, but according to this definition, I am. Thank you.
The next speaker is Marco.
Society. And those crimes should be identified. And yes, we all know what anti-Semitism is. And I'm against it too. But to those in favor of this measure, the argument against it makes itself. No matter down on a conflation of criticisms of anti-Zionism with anti-Semitism. And so does this measure. And that was cited directly from the IHRA website, right? Well-established Jerusalem Declaration on Anti-Semitism, which is the one that actually addresses these discrepancies that we're pointing to in conflating anti-Zionism with anti-Semitism. Slapping the anti-Semitism label on legitimate critiques of a government or political ideology isn't a due measure that should be a priority of a city with so many pressing needs.
Your time has concluded. Paulette David. P-O-U-L-E-T David. From Overflow, P-O-U-L-E-T David. I don't see anyone else coming up.
Leah's here now. Can she go? She called her name.
I'll just come back. I don't think we've actually missed somebody. Tarek R.
Hello, my name is Tarek. I live over in North Park. It pains me greatly to hear all these stories about all these anti-Semitic hate crimes being perpetrated here in the States. I will say the IHRA definition will only serve to make these worse by conflating anti-Semitism with criticisms of Israel. While Israel is currently performing a genocide, murdering children in front of our eyes, people are seeing this. It is live. And it is not everyone's fault that if they see a Zionist entity doing these war crimes and not being held to account, and while it is also being conflated with Judaism in this definition and by the words of Israeli officials, that is only going to make this worse. And I urge you to vote against S-500. Thank you.
Target speech against the state of Israel. It classifies comparing Israeli policy to apartheid as anti-Semitic. It does the same to speaking out against documented Israeli war crimes. These are not just my positions. They are held by Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, and hundreds of Holocaust scholars who know that never again means never again to anybody. The IHRA does not protect our brothers and sisters from the Jewish community. It protects governments from accountability. It has been used on campuses across this country to silence students, teachers, and community activists, defund their events, and punish their speech. This hypocrisy this council needs to sit with as the IHRA states, vote no.
Time has concluded. David Langston. David, you have several people seeking your time. If they can please raise their hand. Elias Ben Batel. You are Elias? Okay. Ryan Khan. Thank you. Taha Hassani. Am I missing a name? I do not see that. Omar Abushan. Thank you. There's two of Omar Abushans. Oh, because there are not two of Omar Abushans here. Asma Zubaidi. Asma Zubaidi. Okay, thank you. And Violet Lee. Thank you so much. You will have 6 minutes. Please proceed.
Thank you. I won't need that much time, but good afternoon. My name is Dave Wagstein. Today I speak, unlike I did just a few hours ago, not on behalf of my union, but myself as a Jew. I'm here to ask you to vote no today. My grandparents on my father's side were from Austria. They escaped in 1939 to America and settled in Queens, New York. My grandmother lost 6 siblings and her parents in the Holocaust. My grandfather lost his parents, my great-grandparents as well. Like all Jews, I've experienced acts of anti-Semitism, including today. When I was 13, the year of my bar mitzvah, our synagogue was desecrated with swastikas. It was shocking. But it wasn't until I had a conversation with my grandfather, when I was a little bit older, that I feel like I truly understood. Both of my grandparents never liked to talk about their experience in Austria, but they made an exception to allow me to interview them for a high school project, because my success in academics was most important to them. My grandfather was always quiet, and he doted over his grandmother. But just for a moment on that day, I saw another side. After sharing their story, and 50 years later, he was interested in going back to Austria. And he was angry. He was angry in a way that I had never seen before. He asked me, why would I ever want to go back to Austria after what they did to me? After the hate that upended everything in his life at such a young age, and it was incomprehensible. The conversation stayed with me. Part of the reason I've been a community and labor organizer for 20 years is about standing for and with people that don't have the power. Honestly, I don't talk much about anti-Semitism publicly or even within my own family because it's so painful and it's so divisive. There's a great Jewish tradition of debate, even arguing. It's true at my family get-togethers to inform our values. And so troubled. Debate by labeling free speech as anti-Semitic this week, and the broader rise in when we conflate those horrific acts in the Jewish community. On this dice. Everyone will heighten division and send a message to Jews and non-Jews alike that your voice and your values aren't welcome. I don't believe that's why you ran, and I don't believe that to hear from academics and to come up with a definition that's going to try and thread the needle of this really difficult conversation. So to ask for you is to not move forward today, send this back to the HRC, give them the opportunity to debate, and try and move forward. I thank you.
People, it will in fact protect the impunity. Providing them cover for the atrocities that they commit by quelling our constitutionally protected rights to have condemned Israel for being an apartheid genocidal state. In addition to them, 2 Israeli-based organizations also say that Israel is committing genocide. And that's B'Tselem and Physicians for Human Rights Israel. So I'm asking you to think about why have they been called genocidal? Because they've exterminated tens of thousands of men, women, children, mostly children and women. Do the right thing, please. And I vote no. Statement. Faith Klinger.
Hello, council members. My name is Faith Klinger, and I am a United States Marine Corps veteran, and I'm a mom. I live in San Diego. I have this book in my hands. It's called I Have Lived 1,000 Years, Growing Up in the Holocaust. It's been in my personal book collection since I was 11 years old. I bought it with my paper route money. The Jewish Holocaust was the worst moment that I'd ever heard about in history up until that point. And I became fixated on how a group of people could do something. People, denying their humanity, murdering them in cold blood, believing that the annihilation of the Jews would bring prosperity and peace. I don't have words for the horror. Evil doesn't go enough. I learned everything I could about it, so when I learned of the apartheid in Palestine and had watched thousands of children be murdered, I was shocked. Surely the descendants of the Holocaust were We're not oppressing a group of people, believing that their annihilation would bring prosperity and peace to them.
Time has concluded. Mayor Marie? Mayor Marie? You have time ceded to you by Grace Rojas Jimenez. If you can please raise your hand. Grace Rojas Jimenez? I don't see anybody raising their hand with that name. Grace Rojas Jimenez. So you'll have a minute. Please proceed.
To condemn all anti-Semitism, but the IHRA definition is dangerous, and it shields foreign governments and people who criticize the state of Israel under the guise of anti-Semitism. Let's start with federal law. The 17th Amendment restricts U.S. aid to any country violating international safeguards of nuclear activity, but it's been proven that there have been enriched uranium found in soil samples in Gaza and in Lebanon, which I have provided their research paper here for you today. The Glenn Amendment also requires the United States to sanction any country that detonates a nuclear device, so there has been nothing against the state of Israel, and this is conflated with blood libel. Even though it is not blood libel, this is actual evidence, researched by doctors. I need to remind this council how Israeli prison guards were caught filming and gang raping a Palestinian man, tearing his rectum and breaking his ribs. All charges were dropped and they labeled that as blood libel. We cannot conflate these things with anti-Semitism. It is dangerous.
Comment, David Whitmore?
I am David Vidmar. I'm in Claremont. Thank you for, I don't know if I can thank you for having this discussion. It's depressing. I have 7 kids. I feel like we're all valuable. Nobody wants anybody to be doing this. But I would just implore you that a resolution be helpful. When the authors themselves of this definition, Kenneth Stern wrote, I crafted a definition of anti-Semitism, and I'm backing away from it because he saw how it was being used. And I would just encourage you to slow down on this. I haven't heard a discussion about much discussion about we are talking about 6. Thank you.
Thank you, Giovanna Addison.
Good afternoon. I stand before you as a local. The fact that this item as 500 is even being considered by this body is a shanda, a disgrace. For the last 2.5 unspeakable atrocities against the Palestinian people in Gaza and across the Levant. These crimes against humanity have been perpetrated with impunity by a nation-state built on genocide and which has co-opted the identity of Jews the world over. And now, make no mistake about it, this city council, should it adopt the IHRA definition of anti-Semitism, will be engaging in anti-Semitism by conflating my Jewish identity with the genocidal ethno-nationalist rogue state of Israel. By doing so, you will be making me and all Jews less, not more safe. Let me remind you that in other places such as Germany and the UK, where language that penalizes criticism of Israel has been conflated with anti-Zionist Jews, they have been labeled as anti-Semitic, have been arrested and put in prison. Make it make sense.
Thank you. Eric Shamsi.
Hello to the council, the board. My name is Eric Ahmed Shamsi. I'm a Lebanese American University student who lives here in San Diego. I come to you today to oppose IRHA definition due to the realm in which it is purely exclusive. Parent safety, we need to support our families. And as such, we should amend this definition, we should fix it, we should rewrite it, we should rework it, we should take the time, which should not be exclusive, but should be equatorial to our community. Thank you.
Jim Rowe. If I can have the following individuals please come up to the microphone to the first row. Jim Roush, Sarah Hassan, Michael Braxney, Craig Jones, and Jamal Khan. If you can all please come up to the front row. Please proceed with it.
I'm a resident of 3rd District and professor of economics at UCSD. I love data. The data show that the Jewish organizations pushing the IHRA definition of anti-Semitism do not represent majority Jewish opinion. The Jewish Electorate Institute conducted a scientific survey of Jewish voters. They asked Jewish voters their opinion of the statement, Israel is an apartheid state. Exactly the kind of statement the IHRA definition is designed to suppress. Only 28% of Jewish voters said this statement is anti-Semitic. A radical minority of Jewish voters that are represented by the definition of anti-Semitism will further inflame anti-Semitism by trampling on San Diegans' constitutionally protected. Please do not help a fanatical minority of Jews endanger the rest of us.
Your time has concluded. Sarah Hassain? Sarah? Hassaine? No? Michael Brackney? Michael, you have time ceded to you by Ryan Khan.
Hello, I'm Michael
Wait,
Brackney.
and Dave Engel. I don't see a Ryan, so I do see Dave Engel, so you'll have 2 minutes. Please proceed.
I am Michael Brackney from Hillcrest, speaking as a member of the Peace Resource Center of San Diego. I identify with the serious concerns expressed by those who support the Council adopting the so-called IHRA definition of anti-Semitism, but I'm very concerned about adopting it because I see it as a divisive influence in our community, one that pits Zionists against anti-Zionists instead of helping us all find our common ground with each other and ways to work together for peace and harmony in San Diego. To begin with, it's not a proper definition at all. The only thing it says as an actual definition is this vague sentence read previously that anti-Semitism is a certain perception of Jews which may be expressed as hatred toward Jews, instead of saying clearly what we all know to be true, that anti-Semitism is prejudice against Jews, discrimination against Jews, aggression against Jews, quite possibly violence against Jews just because they're Jewish. How can this be? It's because the so-called IHRA definition was not written as a proper definition. It was created simply to help governments establish guidelines for collecting data on anti-Semitism, including ways in which anti-Semitism. Moreover, he said repeatedly that it was created not for authoritatively defining anti-Semitism, and that he's very upset that it's been put to this misuse. Please do not adopt this so-called definition of anti-Semitism.
Craig Jones.
Thank you. I am Craig Jones, President of District 5. My wife's family, Viennese Austrian Jews, were wiped out by the Third Reich. I know what anti-Semitism is, what it can do to generations upon generations. Those who commit anti-Semitic acts conflate all Jewish people everywhere with the actions of the foreign state of Israel. The IHRA definition does the very same thing. It conflates the protection of the state of Israel with the protection of Judaism.
Tom McCammon.
Let's sort out 3 very different things today. The first is the Jewish people. The second is the political Zionist state of Israel. The Jews are a proud and ancient people and culture renowned for their contributions to the world. Jews have often faced anti-Semitic discrimination and persecution, and they deserve social and legal protections. Second, Zionism is not Judaism. Zionism is a specific political ideology based on a theory of Jewish supremacy. Not all Jews are Zionists, and not all Zionists are Jews. It is not anti-Semitic to denounce the political ideology of Zionism and its dangerous political program. The resolution proposes to use the IHRA statement as a tool to combat anti-Semitism, but it confuses and conflates the
Thank you
Jewish
for that
people.
concluding comment. Susan Orlovsky.
Good afternoon, City Council. I'm Susan Orlovsky, a resident of San Diego District 2. I'm Jewish, born and raised in an Orthodox family. One of the teachings from my heritage I treasure most is Tikkun Olam, or our world. Remember, Trump on the IHRA definition of anti-Semitism. Voting to adopt it will silence free speech in our community. It is the antithesis to the diversity of viewpoints and cultures that make San Diego great. Thank you.
Jamal Khan. Jamal, you have time to by Ty O'Day, if you can please. Thank you. The last 2 minutes, please proceed.
Yeah, hi, council members. I'm a former city employee. In fact, I used to sit back there and support even the genocide in Gaza if you want. The ethnic cleansing of Palestinians if you want. I am for people. I'm not going to label you as anti-Palestinian racist. But if you pass this resolution, that is exactly what it will do. It will stop me from saying my parents were ethnically cleansed from Palestine. That is defined in IRA as labeled as anti-Semitic. It will stop that the war in Gaza was as criticism of Israel, and it is also classified as anti-Semitism or anti-Jewish. Against the racist political ideology against Palestinians. I become also an anti-Semite. They're this definition of IRA. This is what I want you to do. If you have the right to be able to speak whatever you want to say, and you are not labeled, then allow me to do the same, and do not label me if I speak my mind. IRA will not do anything to stop the anti-Semite or anti-Jewish hate in the U.S. There are other rules or other ways to deal with it. IRA is a political statement to defend a political entity. I want to ask you, when was it the last time?
If I can have the following individuals please come up to the yellow reserve seats, and if I can have those yellow reserve seats made available. Tazim Nizam, Nana Min Aka, Anthony Barron, Agir Elamin, Israel B. Marilyn Micah Spencer, and Carmen Nasser Nicholas. If you can please come up to the yellow reserve seat. And Tazim, if you can please come up to the podium. Yes, you have time seated to you by several people. Madeline Robishan, if you can please. Robishan, thank you. Omayam Zubaidi. Omayam. Thank you. There was an Alana Oraiza who ceded your time to Omayam, but she's ceding time to Tazim. So are you wanting to cede your time to her, to Tazim? Omar Oraiza? Omar Oraiza, are you here? Did you want to cede your time to her? Thank you. Lena Tyser Oden? Lena, are you here? Okay, thank you. Jamsi Gomez, are you here? Jamsi Gomez? I don't see. Roberto Hernandez, are you here? I don't see them. And Shada Kanji, are you here? Thank you. So you will have people that I consider more. My name is Hazina Nizam, and I have the privilege and honor of serving as the Executive Director of CARE San Diego. Work because my work speaks for itself, uplifting communities, uplifting humanity in San Diego, what I have done for them. Work and interfaith tells everyone here that I contest that as well. Today, I am being told that my moral and civil outcry about a genocide that we have all witnessed, unquote, right in front of our eyes,
suddenly will be considered anti-Semitic. My advocacy for value of human life will be offensive to the community that has suffered loss themselves. My ability to live by my values will be considered a violation of the city resolution. Let us be clear. The IHRA definition is not about protecting the Jewish community. It is about being against anti-Zionism. It is not about protecting the Jewish community, I repeat. It is about conflating the definition of anti-Semitism and anti-Zionism. It is about silencing the free speech of advocates such as myself. It is about evading my civil rights guaranteed to me by the U.S. Constitution. Since October 2023, we have seen a rise in anti-Muslim crimes. These complaints are filed by a brave few. The majority of my community is not brave enough to come forward because they fear consequences. Consequences that come down from the highest U.S. office, the presidential order of attacking anybody who speaks against the state of Israel. These hate incidences are on school campuses, at places of employment, and in public spaces just like this. I strongly encourage you to vote no on S-500, as it does not serve its intended purpose of protecting any community, especially the Jewish community. It is rather a harmful and divisive motion brought forward in a hurry. As mentioned earlier, the Human Relations Commission that has brought this forward is also considering it to be brought back to them for debate. Councilmember Whitburn, I appeal to you as the one who brought this forward to reconsider this. This is not a motion that will unite communities, protect communities. It will just create divisiveness amongst our community. And I speak for the Jewish community as well when I say that this is not something that will protect them. Maybe half of the Jewish community. Maybe some of them that will reach out to me. Let us all unite and fight against hate, not be divided by these measures, not be divided by something which is a beautiful place. Let us keep it beautiful by uniting communities rather than dividing them. Thank you.
Thank you to those that have quieted the crowd. Doing great. Still got a couple of hours.
And Akas? You have time stated to you by Susan Sarnowski. Would you please raise your hand, Susan? I don't see a Susan raising her hand here.
The slides are also messed up. I was waiting for a lot of people, so Susan probably left at this point, which is really frustrating. My slides were submitted before a lot of people.
We had a lot of people submit actually taking slips from my stuff in order to accommodate everybody. We are trying to get through everybody. Kyra Zubaidi. Kyra Zubaidi. The mass slaughter. And who paused your time then?
Pause your time. A second hand went up. Was there a second person that was exceeding time?
No. Does anybody else want to see their time?
Okay, we'll go back to Maxine. You'll have 3 minutes. Please proceed.
All right, can I start my time over?
Yes, I.
Oh, yes, yes. So let's start your time over. So we have at least the 2.
And that's the 3rd.
And the 3rd.
Sure, being seen as my First Amendment right. Yalla, we're ready? I am the daughter of a Nakba survivor. My Palestinian father survived the mass slaughtered ethnic cleansing of Palestinians by the State of Israel. I oppose this agenda item. The IHRA definition conflates actual anti-Semitism with criticism of Israel. You all need to read the definition in full. It explicitly says, manifestations might include the targeting of the State of Israel, conceived as a Jewish collectivity. This strips away our freedom of speech, our constitutional rights to hold Israel accountable for the ongoing genocide of Palestinians in Gaza, discrimination and segregation of Palestinians within Israel borders, and apartheid of Palestinians in the West Bank. How about my Palestinians? There are Palestinian State of Israel. Are they anti-Semitic for criticizing their own government? is my Palestinian mother, who is an Israeli citizen, racist towards Jewish people for criticizing the Israeli government for relentlessly bombing Palestinian children in Gaza? No, it's important we do not conflate the two through the IHRA definition. Adopting this definition effectively says San Diego City Council believes in the segregation and discrimination of Palestinian Christian and Muslim citizens of the State of Israel. Is that all what you stand for? What is driving this? Stephen Whitford, you're running for state assembly in 2030. Are you taking money? I'm not saying from Jewish people. Are you taking money from pro-Israel lobby groups? There is a distinction. Isn't that what the IHRA definition is doing? We're distinguishing the two. Are you taking money from pro-Israel groups to bring this forward? Nicole Murray Ramirez brought this to the City Human Relations Commission. Has the commission ensured Nicole's not taking any money from pro-Whitburn, the Christian Zionist supremacist Raul Campillo, and King Todd Gloria, who's not even here today, who ran to be mayor by using his marginalized background, only to get into power to further marginalize those on the sidelines? The group organizing the community to speak in favor of this item today, Israeli American Council. So again, how is this not about conflating the two? This shows this isn't about protecting our Jewish brothers and sisters from the dangerous state of Israel, have called my Jewish brothers and sisters not real Jews. How is that not anti-Semitic? To all my comrades, thank you for being here. I believe in you. I don't believe in these people. I believe in you for showing up. That's what's up.
Anthony Barron. After Anthony Barron, we have here Elamine Israel B. Marilyn Micah Spencer and Elka Weston. If you can please proceed.
Hello, I'm just a board community worker for District 4.
Mike, use your
mic. District 4. I work out in the community and I'm just tired of my taxes going to the Zionist Holocaust against the Palestinians and seeing dead children day after day for a year at this time. And being surrounded by people who take the lead and pleasure in that slaughter as it continues. I have no faith in any of our council members, but I don't need faith in any of our council members because I have complete faith in the righteousness of our cause. And I know that history will absolve us. If that makes me anti-Semitic, then so be it.
Next is Angier Elamine.
I'm Akil Elamine, a longtime resident of the city of San Diego, and I would ask the council people, please look at the definition of Semite and Semitic, and not the definition that these people have come up with that is erroneous and manufactured in order to promote a political ideology. I'm not here to give you a history lesson, but I'm an African-American and I'm a Muslim. And I have been discriminated on both causes. And I know what discrimination is. There is no law that has been designed specifically to protect my rights as an American and an African-American citizen of this nation that I was born and raised in. The civil rights law, Trump in fact wants to dismantle the civil rights laws that protect me. And if he would do it to me, he would do it to the Palestinians. And I'm saying now, we cannot have it, and I advise you to vote no on this resolution.
Israel B.
Good afternoon, Mr. President, all the council members. My name is citizen of Republic Democratic of Congo in Africa, and I'm resident here in San Diego, lead pastor at Precious Name of Jesus Christ Church. Mr. President, I'm here to speak in favor of this agenda item regarding IHRA. Mr. President, anti-Semitism, which continue to impact our community and around the world. I know what I'm talking about. For many people, including those in Jewish community, Israel by a place of safety, identity, identity and history. Supporting Israel's right to exist and defend itself, it is an important part of standing against hate and discrimination. This is about limiting free speech. It is about ensuring that anti-Semitism is recognized as taken seriously.
After that, it will be Ilka Weston, Carmen Nazaire Nicholas, Tom McHammond, I'm not sure if I already said that one before, Mark Powell, allegedly Audra, and Vicky Estrella. If you can all please come up to the front row. Please proceed.
Hello, my name is Marilyn Ika Spencer. I live in District 3 and I voted for some of you. I am a Jew, and it is exactly because I am a Jew that I came here to urge you not to support this definition of anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism is a nasty, horrible view. It's worse when this view is put into action. I hate it. All of my grandparents escaped anti-Semitism in Europe. Many of my relatives didn't manage to escape and were murdered. I've been subjected to anti-Semitism my entire life. Most anti-Semitism is based on the stereotype that all Jews are the same at their core. But that's not true. Many of us have different views on everything, including this political state of Israel. Many argue today that the IRA definition doesn't prohibit free speech, but even if it's not legally binding, adopting this position defines free speech about Israel as the same thing as Jew hate.
Thank you for that concluding comment. Ilka?
Yes, hello, my name is Ilka Weston, and I know all of you. And that's a fact. And first let me point out, great job, Ryan, to say how El Cajon, a Republican city, and Chula Vista, a Republican city, support this just like you support them. And you attack disabled individuals as well. Right now, what I'm here to urge everybody to do is table this. It is not written appropriately. When our Black community has been attacked, has anything been done? No. When our Hispanic community has been attacked, has anything been done? No. Muslims have been imagined from the people of the government of Israel. We are not saying that anti-Semitism is wrong, but it's very interesting that when Muslim people are talking about, and thank you, Mr. President, for allowing them to do that. I expect 10 more seconds to put on by you allowing them to talk out like that. So I need 10 more seconds because they took it.
You got it from both sides. So they interrupted you on both sides of the argument. So you had your time.
I did not have my time. I am not finished because I would like
I'll give you 10 seconds.
Thank you.
You can wrap it up.
I want to urge that we table this right now. It needs to be rewritten to include all people, including our Muslim brothers and sisters, because at this point in time, it's racist.
Thank you for that concluding remark. Carmen Nazaire Nicholas? Nichols, my apologies. Carmen Nazaire Nichols, are you here? After that, Tom McCann.
I've already spoken, ma'am.
Allegedly, thank you. Please proceed. Okay, I'll go more. Vicky Estrella. Kate Yavin Ditti, if you can please come up to the front yellow reserve seat. And Amy Ector, if you can all please start making your way to the front row. Please proceed.
My name is Carmen Nazaire, and I am Palestinian from my parents are survivors of Nakba. I find this definition of anti-Semitism problematic for many reasons, including that it disregards and minimizes the racism and oppression experienced by a majority of Semitic people who are not Jewish. I believe that Judeophobia, Islamophobia, Afrophobia, and other types of discrimination and bigotry are all equally wrong. But allowing one religious group to define a term to suit their political agenda, which includes taking away our First Amendment right to free speech and silencing and marginalizing those who don't have the political power to have their definitions legally recognized, deeply insulting, and will create more division among religious and ethnic groups in San Diego and beyond. I will also not protect Jewish people.
That concludes your time. That concludes your time. And did I hear you right, Tom McMahon, you've already spoken?
Yes.
Thank you.
McCammon,
Mark
spoken.
Powell?
Hello, council members and President Makava. My name is Mark Powell. I'm here to urge you to vote in favor of the resolution recognizing the working definition of anti-Semitism adopted by the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance. For me, this issue is not abstract, it's deeply personal. I'm a first-generation American Jew. In 1956, my mother was forced to leave the Middle East because of religious persecution. She came to the United States seeking safety, freedom, and the ability to live openly as a Jew. But my mom made San Diego her home, a city where she believed she could live without fear. Today I live in District 6, and within District 6 there's 2 synagogues and a Jewish community center. These are places where families gather, where children learn, where Jewish community thrives. But when you walk into the Jewish community center, you'll see something that should trouble all of us: multiple armed security guards standing there watch. They're there to protect the members of the preschool.
Thank you for that concluding statement. Allegedly, Audra. After that is Vicky Estrella, then Kate Yavandidi, if you can please come to the front row, Amy Ector, Sandy Hebb, Nick.
Why don't you just say it's interesting, and then you're trying to force me to accept that pedophilia has become something that is, something that people do. It's written in the Talmud, and we're goyim, we're animals, right? And it's okay to treat people a certain way if you're Jewish, but if you're not, then you're anti-Semitic. And there seems to be a lot of hate that's been spewed around here by this group of people. And it's very sad, because it's like, no, I don't think that rabbis should suck the baby penises when they are circumcised. And I will never think that that is something that we should support. Or the genocide of people. It's like, if it's these people, it's okay, but not if it's them. You guys need to course correct and understand that you are discriminating when you are saying only Jewish people are Semites, because you're leaving out a whole class of people.
Your time has concluded. Vicky Estrella. Thank you for letting us know. There are duplicates in here. Kate Yavandidi.
My name is Kate Yavandidi. I'm with the National Lawyers Guild. The Guild nationally has challenged the adoption and the misuse of the IHRA definition of anti-Semitism. Although presented as simply a definition of anti-Semitism, in fact it has been used to suppress the free speech of persons, especially those supporting Palestine and opposing the genocide committed by Israel in Gaza. Locally, the Guild has supported pro-Palestinian demonstrators, including providing legal support and defense for those arrested at the USD encampment and elsewhere. These demonstrators have been speaking out against genocide.
If you can please raise your hand, Sydney. Thank you. And Brian O'Brien. If you can please raise your hand. Brian O'Brien. Oh, I see him coming and waving his hand. 3 minutes, please proceed.
Organization working to end U.S. warfare and imperialism. I live in District 1, and I've been a resident of San Diego for 35 years. The city of San Diego is attempting to redefine anti-Semitism, a definition where pointing out ethnic cleansing and the apartheid structure Israel has forced on Palestine would be deemed anti-Semitic. To acknowledge that separate roads for Palestinians, separate IDs for Palestinians, separate rights for Palestinians, separate areas and cities Palestinians are prohibited from entering in their own occupied land, separate laws carrying out executions by hanging only apply to Palestinians. To see all of that and to call it what it is, racism in the highest degree, that would be considered anti-Semitic. In the last 12 days, Israel has turbocharged a genocide in southern Lebanon with complete impunity. They displaced over 1 million people, killed more than 800, with countless missing under the rubble. We've seen schools, churches, mosques, and hospitals all targeted with Israeli bombs supplied by the U.S. We're watching them use the same exact tactics that they have done to Gaza the past 2.5 years. They forcefully evacuate and displace and raise an entire city and prepare it for military occupation. Yet it is our speech that is policed and prosecuted to a harsher level than the violence that the state of Israel commits. Back and our weapons from here in San Diego. Our taxes aren't spent in service of us. Our laws aren't written in service of us. Our troops aren't even deployed in service of us. We send them to serve the interests of Israel and the global elite. Our sanctions strangle and starve the people of Iran as they do the people of Cuba and Venezuela, while we blockade and steal even more oil and target bomb innocent civilians in Gaza and Tehran and now Lebanon. But we're told our words are the real violence. When will those like you, San Diego City Council, have sat back and watched with your authority, comfort, and convenience choose to act? This council has broken its promises.
Are you here?
Yeah.
Please come up. Nicole Lilly, Liliana Soriano, Sparky. Joe Castiglione, if you can please come up.
Thank you for your time. Social cohesion. Taking pictures and writing the names of every person that's against this item. Yeah. So you point out your statistics are the same media. Also been described. Says never again. That's very selective too. We're witnessing the ongoing Holocaust. This IHRA for a manipulated definition of anti-Semitism. So when 800 scholars unanimously call it a genocide, you don't care about them. There's the biggest enemy is the anti-Israel is the truth. And that terrifies the Zionists because that's shifted and Israel.
Nicole Lilly, please come forward. I'm a resident of District. The IRA definition of anti-Semitism displays the criticism of Israel and Zionism, the impunity of Israel. Under this definition, national courts to be committing genocide in Palestine, to critique their brutal murder of nearly 200 Iranian school children, to say Israel and the U.S. poisoning and attempted eradication of entire peoples is abhorrent, to accurately call Israel an apartheid state would all be falsely labeled anti-Semitism. As a queer youth organizer and UCSD alum, I can tell you firsthand how such a definition is used not to protect Jewish people and students, but to strip away free speech and civil liberties of those who dare to call out genocide and real acts of anti-Semitism and Islamophobia. Our words matter, and official resolutions of this council are binding in ways that matter. As you decide today, think of your children and think of the children in Palestine and in Iran and around the world that IRA tells us is anti-Semitic to defend. Do not conflate the critique of genocidal actors with real incidents of hatred against Jewish people. So no, thank you.
Liliana Soriano.
Within organizations within Israel itself, such as B'Tselem, have concluded that the Palestinian people are being ethnically cleansed due to the genocidal acts of Israel that are being propped up by American militarism. My fellow classmates at my alma mater UCSD in Columbia have faced constant attacks because of officials' failure to protect the freedom to protest genocide. From arrests to suspensions to immigration enforcement, the weaponizing of such inaccurate definitions has done irreparable harm to the livelihoods of many Palestinians and allies. Keep in mind, many of us have already lost family to constant bombardment, kidnapping, and bigotry. With the very real rise of anti-Semitism and Islamophobia, it is exceedingly important to separate the defense of warmongering states from the defense of Jewish people. Please don't adopt this resolution. Thank you.
Joanna Wenberg.
Good afternoon. I'm from District 1 and a Jewish member of Congregation Dor Hadash, though these views are my
I care about dismantling anti-Semitism, but adopting IRA is not the way. According to TRUA, a rabbinic human rights collective, even non-binding adoptions of IRA can be used to stifle free speech. I encourage everyone to consult April Rosenblum's work to sharpen their understanding of anti-Semitism. I claim to speak for all Jews, but neither can any other Jew here. The Talmud has a saying of machoket l'shem shamayim, or argument for the sake of heaven. Respecting dissenting opinions, a resolution suggesting that Jews are safe only when dissenting voices are silenced. Our safety is bound up together. Thank you.
Joe Castiglione. Abrahams, Diana Rosenstein, Elnav Lavi, Romy Neustadt, Alan Vittar.
The subhuman will always be subhuman, as a Jew remains a Jew. After October 7th, Yoav Gallant, Israel's defense minister, announced that they were fighting human animals. A few weeks later, Israel's former ambassador to the United Nations, Dan Gillerman, said, "I'm puzzled by the concern the world is showing for the Palestinian people for these horrible, inhuman animals." I've just drawn a comparison between Nazi leaders and Israeli leaders to humanization of others. The IRA definition says that my factual statements are an example of anti-Semitism in public life. Just look at the 10th bullet in the definition. IRA has absolutely been used to suppress First Amendment rights, look no further than defunding universities or initiating deportations. And at the very least, I urge you to continue this item and to solicit important additional perspectives. Thank you.
Craig Denham.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Craig Denham, pastor of Rise Church, also representing a coalition of pastors that represent thousands in San Diego. It is an honor to stand with the Jewish community amidst the radical rise of anti-Semitism, which by nature is the demonization of an ethnicity. It is pure racism, and this is where your leadership is needed to take a stand, because anti-Semitism is not only a threat of psychological warfare, reputational harm, but also physical harm to Jews. It's also cover fire. It always has been for evil to advance ideological ammunition to jihadist movements that openly declare their intent to dismantle Western civilization. We see such rhetoric in our own backyard. So I ask that you please lead and make San Diego proud. Thank you, and God bless you.
Noah Abraham.
Racist hate speech that you're stealing.
All right, sort that lady out, please.
Bye!
Do not applaud. Do not applaud. I do not take that lightly.
Please proceed.
Good afternoon, councils. Steve Whitburn, thank you. Let's just be clear on why we want to adopt this definition in San Diego. As a Jewish community, we don't just want to be protected, we want to be taken seriously. We want to ensure that anti-Semitism is recognised and addressed with the same seriousness as other forms of hate. And recently, I attended an event where a Holocaust survivor was drowned out by the noise disruption caused by those who refused to respect his freedom of speech. This, a man who survived concentration camps. A man who's trying to educate on the past so that the future cannot repeat itself. But with no IHRA protection, we were unable to hear his voice. Today we're here because we deserve to be heard, and in adopting this definition, we send a clear message that anti-Semitism has no place in San Diego, and crucially, that Jewish residents are valued members of this community.
Diana Rothstein. Diana Rothstein. Third time seated by Ella Rensley. If you can please raise your hand. Thank you. Somebody already going out there and close the door. I'm stopping your time until they close the door. Yes, you have to.
My name is Diana Rosenstein. I'm a member of the San Diego Jewish Community from District 7.
I grew up in Belarus during the Soviet period, where anti-Semitism was part of everyday life. At the beginning of each school year, teachers took attendance and students were asked not to their nationality. When a child said Jewish, classmates laughed and teachers did nothing. My parents taught me to say I was Belarusian, to avoid being singled out. That was the reality many Jewish families lived with. Soviet officials claimed they were not targeting Jews, only Zionists. Soviet anti-Zionist propaganda frames this as progressive and anti-fascist cause. But in reality, Jews were targeted, harassed, denied university admissions and job promotions, and blamed for society's problems. I thought I had left anti-Semitism behind when I moved to the United States in the early 90s, but not anymore. Today, San Diego has the third highest number of anti-Semitic incidents in California, with incidents on touring and college campuses and K-12 schools. When these situations arise, educators and administrators often struggle to determine when something has crossed the line from political expression into harassment targeting Jewish people. Clear guidance matters. It helps distinguish legitimate discussion about the Middle East from rhetoric that crosses the line into anti-Semitism and harassment. Having grown up in a place where simply being Jewish could make you a target, I know that hatred can hide behind political language, including when it's expressed as anti-Zionism. Adopting this definition will help San Diego recognize anti-Semitism when it appears and respond before it harms our children and our community. I respectfully urge you to vote yes. And I want to add, to reply to the speaker who says that seeing Israeli flag triggers her.
Thank you for that concluding comment. Your time has concluded. Josie? Josie? Chair Pepper? Is there a Yossi here?
He had to leave, but somebody else was speaking on his behalf.
I'm sure they submitted a speaker something. Elna Lobby? Thank you. And Adi Cohen? Thank you. You'll have 3 minutes. Please proceed.
Dear council members, community member, as a mother, anti-Semitism politics. It's not about talking points of leaders like some people are saying some videos in TikTok. I'm going to share with you today about the real daily experiences my kids are facing, our kids are facing. Last year, my daughter was in a middle school history class when a teacher referred to her as the Jew kid. It is not 50, 70, 80 years back. It is last year. And history teacher in front of the whole class called my daughter the Jew kid. Imagine being in a class, a child, and suddenly being singled out like that in front of all of your classmates. It's not about politics. And just 2 weeks ago, my son, who is a college student at Cal Poly, experienced anti-Semitic bullying at the fraternity. It was serious enough that it was reported. You can look up, you can see it in the news. Again, no politics, no history. It is here now, happening in San Diego, in my house, in my kids' schools. These are no stories from decades back ago. This is happening now to our children. This is why the working definition from the IHRA matters. It gives schools, universities, and communities a clear tool to recognize anti-Semitism when it happens, instead of dismissing it or pretending it's something else. No child should be reduced as the Jew kid. No student should be targeted for being Jewish. Please adopt IHRA so that when anti-Semitism happens, institutions have the clarity and courage to address it immediately. Please adopt it. Thank you.
Next is Romy Nerstadt.
Thank you. My name is Romy Neustadt, and I live in District 1. Good evening. My children have been confronted and called baby killers and Zionist scum as they've tried to enter events right here in this city. Just a few weeks ago, I was at Trader Joe's and was physically blocked from reaching for the Israeli feta. The large man said, if you buy that, you're supporting genocide. Then he was close enough to see my Star of David, and he said, you Zionists disgust me, and he refused to move. This is what the IRA definition addresses. It doesn't silence critics of any government. It simply states that targeting Jews for the actions of a foreign state isn't political discourse. People, this is definition restricts no speech. It's a tool, one already adopted, as you've heard, by 40 countries, 30 U.S. states, and our neighbors in Chula Vista and El Cajon. We deserve to live in a San Diego that can name the names of their comments. Thank you for your
Alan
time.
Viterbi, you have time stands to you by Josh Snyder. So please raise your hand.
Me too.
And what's your name?
Amanda Levine.
Thank you. We'll have someone go to slip. 3 minutes. Jeff, did you raise your hand? My apologies. Okay, so you have 2 minutes. Please proceed.
Alan Viterbi, city resident and the San Diego regional president for the American Jewish Committee, the nation's oldest and largest Jewish public advocacy and human rights organization. We support the resolution before you. 3 brief points I'd like to make today. 1, we commend the careful wording of this resolution and its purpose is strictly educational. Opponents claim this infringes on their free speech. The resolution does no such thing. No speech is made illegal. Even the ugly speech that the council has unfortunately speech. This resolution simply educates others that their speech is anti-Semitic. 2, every minority group in America is given the space to define a broader community to help create a better society. The IRA definition in your adoption today for educational purposes reflects our city's desire to embrace all. And 3, your adoption is timely. This is the most dangerous and disturbing moment for American Jews in my lifetime. In San Diego, Jews and Jewish institutions are experiencing threats and actual violence. Just this past week, when we witnessed how anti-Zionism translates into anti-Semitic actions with the attempt to drive a explosive-laden vehicle into a synagogue with a preschool of 140 children, I can tell you, called me and said, is it safe for me to take your 1-year-old grandchild to a mommy and me class at a synagogue tomorrow? Fortunately, our San Diego Police Department is there to protect our institutions, but it's time for us to call out the kind of hatred that leads to those violent actions. And so I urge the council today to...
Thank you for that, Councilman.
Thank you.
Sarah Brown. Sarah Brown, if you can please make your way forward to the microphone, and then Wayne Harris, Faith Klinger, Susan Orlovsky, Craig Jones, Valerie Traina, and James Roach. If you can all please come forward. Sarah, you have time seated to you by Lauren Goosen. Lauren, so please raise your hand. No, understood. You can wait, Harris? Yeah. Thank you so much. You'll have 2 minutes. Please proceed.
As a commissioner on the HRC, a member of the San Diego State University Presidential Task Force on Anti-Semitism, which already adopted IRA, and the regional director of American Jewish Committee, I am proud of our city council for taking seriously the HRC's unanimous recommendation to adopt the IRA working definition of anti-Semitism. In our letter, we write to urge the city of San Diego to adopt the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance working definition of anti-Semitism. Doing so would be an important step towards strengthening safety and inclusion for Jewish students, families, and communities throughout our city. The IRA working definition explains that anti-Semitism refers to certain perceptions of Jews that may be expressed through hatred. These expressions can appear in rhetoric or actions directed at Jewish or non-Jewish individuals, their property, Jewish community institutions, or religious sites. The definition also includes illustrative examples to help identify how anti-Semitism manifests in practice. With this definition, that's the end of the quote, now it's just back to me. With this definition, the city can implement lasting education and training initiatives
anti-Semitism. The AJC State of Anti-Semitism 2025 report reveals that over 9 in 10 American Jews feel less safe right now, with 56% of them changing their behavior due to fear. 31% were personally targeted by anti-Semitism, and 71% reported seeing it online. We must take action, and this resolution will be part of lasting change to benefit our city, guiding policy, education, and training. Thank you very much to Councilmember Whitburn for sponsoring this, and to all of you for consideration and leadership. Vote yes.
Faith Klinger. Faith Klinger, are you here?
She already spoke.
Thank you. Susan Orlowski.
She spoke.
Thank you for your honesty and duplicates. Craig Jones. Craig Jones, are you here? A lot of you put in dupes. Valerie Trina. Thank you. And if I can ask James Roush, Doris Guitar, Dan P, Dennis Z, and Abigail Pasman, please to come up to the front row. Valerie, please proceed.
I'm Valerie Traina, District 4. San Diego must not issue a resolution adopting the IRA working definition of anti-Semitism. This definition confuses rather than elucidates due to its conflation of criticism of Israel with disparagement of Jews as a whole. Israel clearly is committing ethnic cleansing and genocide of indigenous Palestinians. It can't hide behind this definition of anti-Semitism to avoid criticism of its war crimes. That the city of San Diego believes it should carry water for that apartheid government infuriates me. City council represents the residents. We the people want no part in excusing the genocide of Palestinians by the state of Israel. Your proposed infringement on our rights to free speech is beyond the pale.
Doris Guitar.
Okay, gentleman with the hat, is that you? Is that what he said?
Yes, why are you...
Okay, my apologies.
Calm down. Good God.
Doris Guitar, you have time to do by Tanya Abraham. Tanya, if you can please raise your hand.
I believe Tanya was
She's walked in. So you're not ceding your time to Doris?
No, she's speaking, right?
Okay.
You want to speak, so then you can't cede your time to me.
You'll have 1 minute, please proceed.
Okay. I deeply care about the rights of all people, even those I disagree with. But why was this definition not read? You took 10 minutes and didn't read the definition because it's plain as can be that it will stifle our speech rights. My family in Lebanon, originally from the south, have never seen this level of displacement or destruction. The Israelis have soaked agricultural lands with herbicides and phosphorus, making 1 million people homeless. My cousins witnessed smashed infrastructure, the flattening of entire neighborhoods and villages. Israel lured weary Lebanese refugees to safe zones in Beirut's Corniche, a boardwalk adjacent to the American University of Beirut, near where we lived. Drones killed many, including children, hours later. Over a dozen medical workers have been murdered. If this passes, when I tell my personal story, I will be branded as anti-Semitic. Please read this, read it, and fix it.
Tanya? After that is Dan P, Dennis Z.
Vote no to our definition of anti-Semitism. I am Semite. I'm a Semite, a Lebanese Semite. I'm one of the original Semites. And the IRA definition of anti-Semitism disregards and minimizes the racism and oppression experienced by Semitic people like me who are not Jewish. It's especially troubling that the city of San Diego is considering this definition during ongoing violence, including the genocide in Gaza and the continuous U.S.-Israeli bombing in Iran and Lebanon, my home country. Israel has Israel is targeting civilians and infrastructure. How many people here who are voting yes for this item
have their country, their homeland countries, destroyed and bombarded since the day you were born. How many of you can say this? And to support by Israel? No. By Lebanon?
Your time has concluded. Your time has concluded. Dan T, if you can please come forward. Dan, you have time up on the screen. So that is going up on the screen. We will try to zoom in, but copies are being distributed to the council as well. Please proceed.
Yes, council members, my name is Dan and I'm a resident of San Diego. Thank you for considering the adoption of IRA resolution. Several people here came to gaslight you and lie. Is that IRA and Jews' purposes to call out demonization and delegitimization of Jews. I'm asking you on behalf of my family and my beautiful Jewish community in San Diego here to adopt IRA. Thank you.
Next is Dennis Z. Dennis Z.
Would you like to work that gentleman out?
Oh, gosh.
We've got to stay this under control. Let everybody speak. Let them get through. We still probably got at least another hour.
Hello, council members. My name is Dennis and I live in District 6. Thank you, Councilman Whitburn, for sponsoring the resolution today. IRA does not impede on free speech. It is completely constitutional and has been adopted by the United States government. Healthy debate and criticism of governments and policies are a normal part of democratic societies. People across the political spectrum regularly express opinions about international conflicts, including those involving Israel. However, there is an important distinction between criticizing a government and targeting the Jewish people. Anti-Semitism occurs when individuals or communities are blamed, harassed, or threatened simply because they're Jewish, or when Jewish identity itself becomes the target of hostility. There are plenty examples of that. When political anger about events abroad turns into hostility. Thank you. Please support the resolution.
Abigail? Abigail? Is Ariel Heffitz here? Ariel Heffitz, I understand that somebody wanted to say time to you, but I don't have that speaker slip. Thank you so much. We'll get those. You'll have 3 minutes. Please proceed.
Hello, my name is Ariel Heffitz, and I'm here as a 15-year-old Jewish high school student who has been through many anti-Semitic incidents. I should be in school right now, but I need to speak out. I've been living here for most of my life, and I'm an American citizen. I have no control over what goes on in other places in the world. The October 7th tragedy happened when I was in 7th grade, 12 years old. I don't think a 12-year-old should have to deal with racial profiling. I've been told Hitler was right and that I should have gotten gassed with the rest of my people. I've been called a dirty Jew and a baby killer. I've had to go through physical and violent attacks, one being with 4 boys who are older than me. I've been spit on, but luckily, I'm still here. I think some people need me to restate anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism simply means that you hate the fact that they are Jewish. That is it. This isn't about politics, and some of the people here are proving my point. This is about mine and the people around me's safety. I want to feel comfortable and safe in my country, and I want to feel comfortable with who I am. I want to feel like everyone else does. You've seen some of the anti-Semitic lies being spread against us today. We defend the rights of every minority without thinking twice because everyone deserves to feel safe. We just want the right to live in peace. Why should I have to fight for that? I wish we could learn from our mistakes. We say never again, but here we are. There's a difference between hate speech and free speech. Anti-Semitism is pure hate. This is disgusting and I'm sick of it. Please vote yes. Thank you.
Margaret Morgan. Margaret Morgan, if you're here. Doron Malka. Andy Trimlett. Sylvia Enrique. We have two for Celia Enrique. Stacy Lynn Kufelberg. If you can all please come to the front row. Margaret, you have time seated by Janet K. Hedeline. If you can please raise your hand. Janet? Okay, then you'll have 1 minute. What is it? Please proceed with your 2 minutes.
Thank you. My name is Margaret Morgan. I'm a San Diego resident of District 2. Thank you, Stephen Whitburn and Ryan, for this amazing presentation today. And also, I'm a non-Jewish ally standing in strong solidarity with my Jewish community and friends. You've heard the evidence. Anti-Semitism is at unprecedented levels. It has been clearly established that this definition does not limit free speech. You've also heard claims about this definition that are simply not true. That is not debate, that is misinformation. The question before you is not whether anti-Semitism exists. The question is whether you will name it clearly or allow it to be blurred. To draw that line. What happens when that line is blurred? The decision is in your hands. And in your hands, you're each also holding a copy of my father's birth certificate from Germany, stamped with the Nazi insignia. I gave that to you as a reminder. History is not distant. It is shaped by the decision of public officials in moments like this. Please vote yes while this decision is still in your hands. Thank you so much.
Doron Malta. You have time seated by Miri Benley Shai. If you can please raise your hand. Thank you. And Laura Lolly Froman, please raise your hand. Laura Lolly From? Oh, thank you so much. 3 minutes, please proceed.
Good afternoon, Council President and Council members. My name is Doron Malka, and I'm a member of both the San Diego and the National Boards of the Israeli-American Council, representing thousands of proud Jewish and Israel-American families in our community. We've seen the numbers of the surge in anti-Semitism in our city, in our county. I have to say I prepared a speech, but I have to say that what you've experienced today, I think our opposition clearly made our case. What you've experienced today in some of those comments is what our members are experiencing every single day. Our children, our students, our parents, in the place of worship, in the universities, in the kindergartens, this is the kind of hate we are experiencing every single day, and you've had just an hour to do it. Our law enforcement and our civic leaders cannot fight this hate if they don't have a clear definition of what it is and how to protect against it. The IRA definition is not against free speech, not in any way, just in the way you explained it, in the way it's written, in the way you've heard so many witnesses for it. It is clearly and simply a diagnostic tool to identify it and to give some tools to combat it, to allow our law enforcement to deal with it and to eliminate it. We hear a lot about we want open debate. We want a healthy debate. Of course we want a healthy debate, but the debate that we are asked to do is as long as we're not wearing our yarmulke, as long as we don't speak Hebrew, and as long as we don't put our mezuzahs in our doors, as long as we don't go with our Star of David, now let's have a debate. That's not a healthy debate. That's true hatred in every form that you can express it. Very simple. You can join the 47 nations and 37 U.S. states and establish a standard that will protect your Jewish constituents and the Jewish community overall. Or you can make the day for those hoping, praying that you reject it. And any word about let's delay it, it's not a clear, it's not an honest request to delay it. It's a hope to bury it. I urge you to vote yes. Thank you.
Andy Trimler.
Today, you are aiming to take a stand against anti-Semitism. That is a noble goal. By the way, no country in the world deserves protection from the First Amendment of the Constitution. Yes, this resolution declares that it doesn't restrict criticism of Israel, but then it goes on to list specific ways that you can and can't talk about the state. You can't have your cake and eat it too. On Saturday, a Palestinian family was driving home after getting sweets and new clothes for the kids. Israeli soldiers opened fire on the family car, killing the mother, the father, and 2 young boys. Only 2 children survived. Imagine that happening to your family. Now imagine being one of the surviving kids and hearing that politicians were voting to restrict criticism of the forces who killed your family. Please do not take a chisel to our rights as Americans. Vote no. Thank you.
Sylvia Enriquez.
Hi, I have to confess, I'm not here to speak on this issue.
Please speak when you get up to the microphone so that the Zoom can hear you as well.
I'm sorry.
You'll have 1 minute. Please proceed.
Good afternoon. Almost going into good evening. I am here to confess that I was not listed here to speak on this issue. However, it is a very important issue. This divide between we as human beings needs to stop. And the only way we can do it is to respect each other and respect each other's existence here. And respect that all of us, to some degree, in the evolution of this civilization has suffered. Now, brutally suffered. We have been suffering, I say, for my people, for thousands of years, the European invasion on this land. So it is not new. And I beg everyone, particularly the council, to be inclusive, to have an egalitarian view.
Thank you for that concluding remark.
And include everyone.
Stacy Lynn Kiefer, Stacy Lynn, and then Cynthia R. Connor Duncan, Blair Beekman, Ronit Levy, Stephanie. To the front row. Stacy Lynn, you can come up to the microphone if you're here. Is there no Stacy Lynn? Cynthia R., please come up to the microphone. Cynthia, you have time ceded to you by Terry. Terry, thank you so much. You'll have 2 minutes. Please proceed.
Thank you for having your agenda, the adoption of Remembrance Alliance definition of anti-Semitism. With anti-Semitism rising, there needs to be a way to define this particular racism in order to combat it. Protecting all citizens aligns with civility and with our state and local laws, prohibiting discrimination. Other than the incredible racism against Jews, it would be a non-issue. But here we are, you have this mob opposing this with their unending hate of Jewish race, religion, and national origin. And add to that language after the San Jose attack. Anti-Semitism was a term coined to explain this irrational, crazy Jewish hatred. That's what the term was coined. It's not a separate word or meshing of words. That's what the word was coined in its meaning to invent. Imagine you needed an armed guard to go to your church, to walk outside, to send your kids to preschool. Imagine needing armed guards to send your kids to preschool because some crazy might come and assassinate your kindergartners or your preschoolers for the crime of being born of Jewish blood. This definition merely defines a hate. It doesn't work against anybody. It doesn't act against anybody. It merely defines what anti-Semitism is so that we can combat it. It is not, it is a double when it's a double standard applied to Jews, only Jews, that's when the definition works. It has nothing to do with attacking Israel. You have your free speech, and it's not affected and impacted in any way. There is no reason why racist Jew haters should be able to define what anti-Semitism is. As a proud Latina, I would not accept that, and it should not be a double standard that this applies to Jews, the Jew people. Thank you for protecting all San Diegans and not applying a different standard to Jews. Thank you for putting this on the agenda. Please vote yes.
Connor Duncan, if you can please come forward.
Thank you. I want to start by saying that I actually do support the vast majority of the IHRA definition, and particularly example is the most salient example today, which is that Jews are not collectively responsible for the actions of the state of Israel, that these are two distinct entities. However, the second half of example 7, example 8, and example 10 directly contradict this by saying that any speech in opposition to the state of Israel is a reflection on all Jewish people. This is, there are 11 examples given here, and it can't even be maintained a degree of consistency across 11 examples. I would also say that, the rise of anti-Semitism is a very real thing. I've heard the stories today, and I have been moved by them. But we do not need to have, on one hand, the discussion of this and stifle debate of America's role, its relationship with Israel, and the ongoing status quo that I think is unacceptable. If you don't think that these examples are designed to curtail speech.
Your time has concluded. I need to be fair to everybody. Blair Beekman. After Blair, it's Ronit Levy, Stephanie Nissan, David Vidmar, Stephen Schneidler, Lori Lipsman, Tamar Caspi. If you can all please come up to the yellow reserve seats. Blair, please proceed with it.
Sorry, Stephanie left.
Thank you. Please proceed with it. Blair, please proceed.
All right, the incident earlier was cleared up. A woman is going to be released downstairs, thankfully. I wanted to offer anything I'm trying to say. The majority of my public comment actually isn't in terms of absolute. I'm trying my best to figure things out along the way. I would like all parts of our San Diego community to feel protected and safe in how we're making our decisions for these sort of items. The ideas of love, those should be kind of basic things we're all trying to work together towards. And I was for this item at first, and I read the guidelines of what it's trying to offer. The guideline process is important. I use it with the ACLU stuff for tech accountability. But these guidelines, they lack a certain human rights aspect to them. So I think it needs to be brought back, a full community discussion to work on this together and come up with solutions as a community. Thank you.
Ronit Levy. Ronit Levy. David Vidmar. Thank you. And just so you know, I just have to say it for the record, there could be two people with Joe Smith with the same name. If they don't come up, then they don't come up. David Vidmar. Stephen Schneidler. You have time stated to you by Nancy Dosiak. If you can please raise your hand. Nancy, are you still here? You'll have... Oh, thank you. Please proceed.
Good afternoon, and thank you, Councilmember Whitburn, for bringing this to the city. I have to say I'm so impressed by all of you to be so patient through this procedure and so open to all of the comments. My name is Stephen Schindler. I'm a native San Diegan, a resident of District 3, and importantly, the son of child orphaned Holocaust survivors Rose and Max, adopted on January 27th as International Holocaust Remembrance Day. I want to thank Council Members Moreno for that moment, as well as Council Member Campbell. And I just want to share the proclamation with everyone here. Today, I'm here to ask for the entire City Council's leadership in support of adopting the IHRA definition of anti-Semitism. For those speaking in support of free speech, I hear you. However, I'd like to share how as a child, my family and other Holocaust survivor families who gathered on Sundays at La Jolla Cove during the summer were chased out at the threat of violence by neo-Nazis parading up La Jolla Boulevard. We never returned to the Cove as a family for fear for our safety. Incidents as dramatic as this seem probable again more than ever without the adoption of this resolution. Can you imagine how my parents and their survivor friends felt in that moment? Hate speech and threats crossed the line. Why is the adoption of this critical? It creates a shared, standardized definition as it has been discussed, and it can guide schools, universities, inform hate crime analysis.
Thank you for that concluding comment.
Was that 2 minutes?
That was 2 minutes. Yeah. Lori Liston.
Good afternoon, council members. Yesterday, I listened to the city's crime report. Well, while overall crime is down, hate crimes are rising, and we must address this to protect all. As a second-generation Jewish American having experienced anti-Semitism throughout my 70 years, I oppose anti-Semitism and hate in all forms. But the IHRA definition conflates anti-Semitism with legitimate criticism of the Israeli government putting free speech at risk. We have laws against harassment, discrimination, and violence. Anti-Semitism requires education and accountability. As a District 3 resident, I urge you to not adopt this. Thank you.
Tamar Caspi, if you can please come forward. You have people seating you time. Leslie Caspi, if you can please raise your hand, as well as Jordan Rosenfeld. Jordan. I believe you already seated time, but we'll double check. Please proceed.
Hi, my name is Tamara Caspi, a proud resident of District 7, home of Hanukkah Hills. Again, all these testimonies are exactly why we need this. This is gaslighting. They're making our case for us by criticizing Israel to justify anti-Semitism here and purposely misconstruing the definition of anti-Semitism. All of these keffiyehs and watermelons are symbols calling for the genocide of Jews. It is very triggering for me, especially as we just got word that a couple was just killed in Israel by a rocket from Iran. Please don't leave, Henry. I'm the co-founder of Pure K-12, advocating for Jewish students, parents, and teachers' civil rights in K-12 schools throughout San Diego. We have students, parents, and teachers calling us daily with concerns about anti-Semitism on campus. But without a definition of anti-Semitism, it is that much harder for us to fight it and get consequences for bad behavior. Forget about trying to prevent it. These past few weeks, while everyone else was proudly wearing their Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico and Italy and, of course, USA baseball hats to school, Jewish kids were scared to wear their Team Israel hats. Those that did had them knocked off their heads. They were called baby killers and genociders. Not only are these lies being perpetrated by the government halfway around the world that they have no control over, that would fall under the definition of IRA and allow students to advocate for themselves and their civil rights. This kippah doesn't have a Star of David on it or an Israeli flag on it. So why are students that wear it at public schools in San Diego getting beat up and berated in hallways and classrooms under the guise of hating Bibi or being against war? That would fall under IRA as well, and the student would be able to advocate for themselves and their civil rights. This is happening in K-12 public, private, independent schools around San Diego every day. If you deny Israel's right to exist, hold all Jews responsible for Israel's actions, or single out the Jewish state with double standards, that is anti-Semitism, and IRA helps us define that. Please adopt IRA so that more people can be empowered to stand up against anti-Semitism. Thank you.
Sorry, Hannah Lieberman. Hannah Lieberman. Is Tamara Lipke here? Did you want to cede your time to someone else or speak? Take please come forward. Roberto D. Hernandez, Patricia Gracian, Rose Markowitz, and Grace Rojas Jimenez, all please come up to the yellow.
She's ceding her time to me.
But you already spoke, sir. We don't go back. It's not a back system. Tate Schwerin, please come up.
Good evening. Shame on you, Councilman Whitburn. This definition is ridiculous and harms the fight against anti-Semitism. The IRA website gave examples of anti-Semitic acts implied from the definition. An example is denying the Jewish people the right to their self-determination by claiming that the state of Israel is a racist project. I think that any state that uses segregated highways like Road 4370 in Israel-occupied West Bank is a racist project on par. But, according to the IRA definition, I just committed an act of anti-Semitism on par with slander against our Jewish neighbors. Surely, you can see how this disarms the fight against anti-Semitism and enables genocide at the same time, aligning with humanity and the oppressed.
Hernandez, are you here? Thank you. Patricia Garcian? Patricia Garcian, you actually had already ceded time to somebody else, so I will marry your slip. Rose Markowitz?
Hello, my name is Rose Markowitz, and I'm a Jew, and I strongly oppose this resolution. As you've heard so many times today, anti-Semitism and Zionism are distinct. Zionists do not speak for all Jews. Zionism is a shanda, it is racism, it is colonization, it commits genocide. The resolution censors my right as a Jew to voice this opinion freely. An ethnic state sustained by obscene amounts of violence is not moral and it is not Jewish. Displacing people from their homes is not moral and it is not Jewish. An apartheid state where access to food, water, and medicine is regulated and often denied by a hostile government is not moral and it is not Jewish. I do not believe that the existence of Israel makes Jews safe or protects us from anti-Semitism. The definition must exclude anything that conflates Judaism and Zionism. Please
acknowledge your time. Thank you, Rose. Grace Rojas Jimenez. Grace Rojas Jimenez, are you here? Grace Rojas Jimenez. Jelsey Gomez. Jiapsi Gomez. Jelsey Gomez. Octavio Cifuentes. Please come forward. And then after that we have Lalo Subrela Damanpo, I think. Farley, Philip Ginsberg, Julie Corrales. Please make your way up to the front row. Anthony Rouse and Elijah Bradford, all please come up to the front row. Octavio, please proceed.
Good evening, everyone.
Please speak into the microphone. Sorry, it's a little low.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Octavio Cifuentes. I'm a Navy veteran, resident of District 1, graduate student at the University of San Diego, and the president of the local chapter of Veterans for Peace. I'm here to ask you to vote no on S500 as the IRA definition was never designed to be used as a binding definition of anti-Semitism, nor to be adopted as legislation. The creators of the working definition to silence any critique of Israel. The rise in hate in this country is deeply concerning, and it pains me to hear the stories that I heard today. So it would be great to see this city take the lead on real change by passing the resolution that actually addresses the problem. So I ask you to not perpetuate the cycle of hate and vote no on S500.
Lalo. There was Sevier, if you were ceding time to Lalo. Did you want to speak? S-E-V-I-E-R, I believe. Moving on, Subrela.
City. I strongly oppose the adoption of the IRA definition of anti-Semitism. The IRA bill does not address anti-Semitism, but rather conflates anti-Zionism with anti-Semitism. Conflating the two creates dangerous precedent and criminalizes any legitimate critique of Israel, criticism that is protected under our First Amendment right to free speech, a right we see being criminalized all across this nation under this administration. Voices supporting Palestinian human rights will be targeted, harassed, and doxxed if we adopt this resolution. Adopting this resolution will set precedent for criminalizing and violating free speech. It's your responsibility to take a stand and ensure that free speech for all San Diego residents is protected and ensured for all San Diego residents. Thank you.
Farley, F-R-R.
My name is Farida Sayyar. I strongly oppose this resolution. It is disgusting and abhorrent that during the holy month of Ramadan we are forced, and that's why there aren't more Muslims and Arab and Palestinians in this room. Not just because someone was detained and arrested violently, that we had to leave and deal with that while fasting, but because the city continues to choose times while our people are bleeding and struggling, while Iran is being bombed with U.S. strikes, while Lebanon is being razed and demolished, while Gaza is facing starvation, emaciation, massacre, ethnic cleansing. Call it whatever you want. You all can read. You all know what the definition says. Don't play dumb. We are not dumb. You are not voted into these positions to pretend that you don't know what this definition says. So we will continue to stand in opposition whether you pass it or not. And we will continue to organize. And all of these comments of people being so confused about what the definition says shows that it was never meant to be used in this way. And I will continue to critique Israel until I die, because Israel is the boot that is cleansing the Middle East and burning all of our people.
Your time has concluded. Philip.
I mean, good God, it's rules for leaving. Why are you being selective on who you're... You're being selective. Yes.
Settle down.
You have double standards going on, dude.
It's not double standards.
Yes, it is.
My actions are about being disruptive to the conduct of the meeting. People say things quietly from one to another. I despise that. I condemn that. But we're talking about disrupting the meeting. It's not about political. It's not about picking sides. It's about being disruptive.
And they have been.
I would condemn that, but as long as you're not disrupting the meeting, that's my responsibility. And that's exactly why we're having this conversation today.
Congratulations, City of San Diego. I'm going home.
It's funny you just targeted the Palestinian supporters.
Philip Ginsburg, please proceed.
Council members, I'm sorry to have precipitated that. Thank you for considering this resolution. I'm speaking in favor of this resolution. I've been a resident of San Diego County since 1973. I happen to be in the district of council president. You've heard stories, and I have a story. It's a small story. I'm 74 years young. I've been married to my lovely wife for 55 years. Do you see this Star of David I'm wearing? She will not go out with me if I'm wearing that Star of David. I can't wear it. She's afraid that someone's going to come up and punch me or punch her. Please, I implore, time is right. Vote yes on S-500. Thank you.
still here. Anthony Ross, if you can please come up. After that, Elijah Bradford, Chris Lopez, Timothy Dombrowski, Leah Gavin Sklar, and then Leah Cohen Reese is our last speaker here in council chambers. Please proceed.
Hello, Council. Good afternoon. I think we're all can break my bones, but words can't bring back all the genocide that's actively going on. And what I want to know is why Zionism gets to claim a monopoly on Semitism when we know that Palestinians are Semites too. Yet this definition does not include Palestinians or any other people of Arabic descent in it. And that's why it's flawed. And that's why I'm speaking in opposition to it today. It's because we know, those of us that have studied history, that Israel is a colonial apartheid settler state that was founded on the premise of reparations for the Holocaust. By that same standard, if reparations for Holocaust are the basis for creating a nation, this nation would be more appropriately named the United States of Native Americans. But it's not. And there was 50 million Native Americans killed in this country. And they're not around today to state that they deserve a nation of their own, or that they're the exclusive, God's chosen people.
Don't go away. Come back. Is this nice lady giving you another minute? Is that why you're standing there with your hand up?
I have not been called, and you said that this was the last.
No, I listed about 10 individuals still. We'll go with more. Thank you,
Okay,
Anthony.
Sorry.
Elijah Bradford.
Good afternoon, Council. My name is Elijah Bradford. I'm here representing Veterans for Peace. Recently separated Marine Corps veteran of 5 years. And I served with Marines and sailors that were Jewish, Arab, that followed Judaism, that followed Islam, and I cherish all of them, and I would stand up for all of them if they were discriminated against. But I'm here to say that we should vote no on this prop. And the reason is, it very clearly conflicts anti-Zionism with anti-Semitism, which is not the same. And I will say that the plight of the Jewish people is not one that is unique. There is genocides and there has been Holocaust against black and brown people multiple times throughout history, so that is not an excuse to somehow get preferential treatment. And I'll also say that council, no matter what happens today, one day people like me, my age, are going to be in your seats. Remember that. Remember that you work for us. And no matter what you do today, once we get in power, this will be fixed. Remember that.
Chris Lopez.
How's everyone doing? I'm Chris Lopez. I am a proud union representative and co-host of the Union or Bust podcast. And in the labor movement, we care about people we don't know. That's probably the crutch of the labor movement. That's the foundation that holds everything up. When I was a young dad, I was about 28. I took my daughters to the zoo. We went to go see a cheetah cage. It was a big cage, you know, the trees in there and everything, but I'll never forget. A retriever in that cage with a cheetah. And it was barking at the cheetah, rah! The cheetah was all scared, and then because the cheetah was born in captivity. So I asked all the council members to remember who you are. You're part of the labor movement. San Diego Imperial County Labor Council, we declared a genocide. We declared Israel as an apartheid state. And I asked you just remember who you are.
Thank you. Liam Stanton. Liam Stanton, if you're here.
Right here.
Okay, thank you. Julianne Gustafson, if you can all please come forward to the reserve seats. Please proceed, please.
Thank you, councilmen and women. It's been a long day. Glad everyone's still standing or sitting. First and foremost, I'd like to say that all hateful acts against any person and all violence inflicted against any human being in whatever form or way or shape it's taken is obviously contemptible and unacceptable. The hideous and truly anti-Semitic actions that we've seen in Michigan and around the world are worthy of condemnation from all ensouled people, including me, even as an opponent of this resolution, and children especially are most especially off limits. That being said, the IHRA definition of anti-Semitism is clearly overly broad and incompatible with the free speech standards of a free people. And in particular, the point...
Acceptable.